priest fella, and I got very angry, and I think there may have been a little bit where I began to cast magic from my fingers and kill a few of the orcs. That might have been me, but I swear I'm not a witch. And then after that, we managed to try to give chase to the two orcs that ran away, but they were too fast and they got a head start on us. And then there were a few of the orcs on the ground who were barely alive, so we kind of brought them up back around and tied them to a tree, tried to question them, and that's when the big fella over there, he made a poker really hard and kind of waved it around to threaten them in like a really threatening manner so they could talk. But they weren't talking because they're orcs, and they were talking mostly in orcs. And well, then a good elf friend can speak orc, and she said they were just basically saying insulting things, and they weren't really telling much. And so at that point, we started to decide, well, do we follow the tracks, which is where whatever that wagony thing is, which would take us further away from our original goal, which was to find out where the food was and get to the place downriver, and whether we were going to leave the boat behind, or if we were just, just mind our own business, maybe even go our separate ways. I don't know. I'm just a poor beggar, man. I don't make decisions around here. No one listens to me anyway. But anyway, as I was saying, we had to come to that decision, and whether or not we would follow the tracks north, or go down south, downriver. That's the last I remember it. I don't think I left anything out, did I?
No, it's very much
right.
almost exactly as what the witch said. There were a few small
I'm not a witch.
changes, obviously.
I would please like it if you do not call me a witch. I am not a witch. Witches bargain for the power with very specific ungodly things to be given evil abilities over the people, and what's happened to me is a curse, and it's not something that I have requested or I really like at all. Thank you.
Oh, so you're not being hounded by people that have given you power?
Correct. I'm being hounded by people who have kidnapped and tortured me instead. Right. Which is the fairy folk. The fairy folk like to kidnap me for some reason and make my life really difficult.
Do they do experiments on you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And is that the reason you have your power?
I don't know why I have this power.
Yeah, so most likely then, yes, a fey witch.
I am not a witch. See, this is the point where, witchcraft is an act of will. You have to want to be a witch. I don't want this.
This is not a witch by choice. He's saying he does not consent, and therefore he's not.
This is hashtag witch too. All right, this is like, yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Everyone's here.
I think everybody's here.
Yep. Got an important decision to make. You guys have executed the two orcs you had captured. You were making a decision as to whether to travel south with them. Well, not with them, following the ones that went ahead, or continuing on your journey, which is basically north.
Well, it's a bit tricky. I mean, at this point, we'd have to figure out what good we would gain by figuring out what the large thing is, and if it's actually the benefit that we need, because I do understand that we don't know exactly what destroyed the boat, but we have a good idea. But more importantly, we do know that we need to get to the next town before we can actually get anything done.
And that's in the opposite direction of these tracks.
Yes, so we need to figure out which way would be ideal. I think I'm personally just in favor of going to the next place at this point.
Let's take a vote. Democracy, right?
All right. Who goes fast?
I'll go first. I say we follow the road.
I'm in favor of going down the river. I just do not think it's a good idea to delay too much longer whenever there's starvation and possibly dissension within the towns. from similar things happening to their supplies.
Alatheria is strongly in favor of going to Burdusk.
And I agree with the two of them. Oh, I know what it's like to starve, and I don't think more people should continue to starve.
Personally,
I
like to
don't
listen
know
to.
where Torm's light shines. Where's Torm's light shining?
I don't know. I mean, the sun's shining on everything.
Oh, tough choice then.
Okay.
Porthos,
Where's
my
the
buddy.
sun shining? It's in the sky.
No, I said where's Torm's light shining?
Oh, well.
AKA asking the GM for hints. Where does my god tell me to go?
Exactly. Where does my god tell me to go?
You talk directly to a god? Like, all the time? Like, he
Of
speaks
course.
to you?
Well,
In your head?
Torm. Torm. I almost said erroneous. Torm speaks to the hearts of all brave and just men.
Right, but he speaks to you, though.
Of course. He speaks
Not-
through all of us.
Not literally, of course, or metaphysically, or
Oh.
potentially just, I believe, delusionally in his case.
Oh,
Why,
ouch.
why do you say that?
Because I don't think Torm talks to this one. I know very little about Torm, but he is the god of paladins, and I do not think this one is a paladin.
Are
Oh,
you
man.
paladin?
No?
So, how come you worship the god of paladins?
Well, yeah, well, it's a long story. See, my entire family worships Torm, and I kind of just follow the same track.
Oh. So you like the type of Tom worshipper that only shows up for the high holy days, but he's not there for mass every week.
But you can understand that there is reason why I doubt the words of Torm himself coming from this vessel.
Oh, I
But-
doubt it.
I do not doubt.
believe it.
I do not doubt his intentions, though. I do think his intentions are noble, and I simply do not think it is Torm.
Do you think he's lying to us, or is he maybe he really hears someone talking in his head?
Oh, that could be
Do
true.
I hear someone talking in my head? That's worrying.
The distant cry of a crow reminds you that time is passing.
Oh,
So Eleonora, she believes in science and in destiny. She picked up an acorn cup and she throws it in the air, and she wants to look if it lands on the top side, then she will follow down the road. If it lands on the other side, she will go back to town. So she throws her acorn in the air, and if it's less than 10, it will be bottom. If more than 10, it will be whatever. If more than 10, then she follows down the road.
What are the two options again? Above table? Go
follow
down
the
the
wagon wheel south, or
Yeah,
sorry,
But-
follow the
it
wagon
was
wheel
9, so it's returned to the town.
I am more in favor of going to the town, even though I do think there is merit in following the road. So that's my vote.
So it sounds like it's 5-1 already. So I guess we're going back to the boats. So what? Daylight's a waste, and let's head back.
Yes,
The
let's
boats.
hurry. Yes, let's hurry back to the boats and get on our way. I don't think there's any way we could protect the boats in case of another hawkish investigation if we did go, which would waste even more time. I think this is the wise way to go.
I really wish we had some kind of proof to show the next town would happen here with the orcs.
Well, we do have the holy symbols, do we not? At least it's.
Well, I feel
do have
people
mine.
might get us into trouble a bit, but yeah, sure.
Well, if you're the sort, we could certainly bring a severed orc head with the talismans. I
Dude,
find it
do
rather
we really
barbaric.
we could just take a look at the year. I mean, heads are pretty gross and they're creepy to look at, especially when they're dead.
Yes, I agree. Fine. We'll take an ear.
Oh yes, airs aren't creepy at all. Let's do it.
They're not as creepy.
Ears. Creepy. Okay.
No, I agree.
But they're small enough that I don't have to look at them as often.
Oh,
I can just tuck it
before
away.
we go, I mean, if you want to cut some orcs' ear off, that's all well and good. I'm sorry, that doesn't. That all that proves is that we've run into orcs, not what's happening with the food here. How do we connect that sunken ship to these orcs? That's all I'm saying.
I don't think we can. But we can tell that they definitely have intentions in this area. And we do know that orcs were firing arrows very similar to this upon us just a little bit earlier down the stream, or down the river.
No, I guess our words will have to do then.
Yes, unfortunately only we know this. It seems very clear to
Mm.
us what's happening, but it may not be that way
Oh.
to everyone else.
Yes,
I don't know.
but there's very little we can do. We do have the log of the captain. Perhaps someone in town can restore it.
Can we use
Uh-huh.
mending to?
No, we tried that. It's not really that it's torn or broken. It's just wet.
Oh.
Yes, mend will not rewrite the words, but it will repair the pages if they were ripped. Okay, let's get to the boats.
All right then.
Okay. So you guys have collected souvenirs.
I just grabbed a couple of the orc ears.
Okay, that's okay.
Mm-hmm. You have to get
And
left and right.
whatever talismans we could find, whatever of those we could find.
I will not argue with progress.
You know,
Does this work? Let me see if this works.
I'm
I
not
copied
trying
it
to
to
judge
the-
you. We don't have much of a choice, but it still doesn't make it any less pleasant.
They give you 100 gigabytes. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, I'm exploring the capabilities of Tabletop Simulator, and they change stuff on me. So that's fun.
So now it's more or less in some aspects.
This changed the way things are done, so it's kind of
Ah, I see.
confusing.
Yeah, they give you
Can
better
I-
options for something.
Trying to bring an asset into the game. It says copy to clipboard. Oh. Do I control V it?
I think so.
That's a dice. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Alright, so I'm not getting that into the game. Cool. So we're going to have to use the river as just an example because I don't have the next item available, which is terrible. Everybody on the boats? Great. So let's go to one that we can actually use. Progress 1, Progress 2, Discovery. Discovery is bad. Let's take it to here. Okay, so you get on the boats. Are you tying them back off again?
Yes, I do think that would be wise.
Yeah.
Okay. And you continue. Hang on, let me just get the map. I know where you guys are going. You guys are continuing to Scornubel, right? That's the plan?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is the goal, yes.
Okay, I'm going to skip some non-useful rolls. I just want to make sure you guys are doing the same things you normally do. At night, you're going to pull over like it's a car. You're going to basically
We're gonna
dock.
we're gonna disembark and tie off the boats and then camp.
Okay. Who has
Uh,
rations on their character sheet?
I do.
We still have plenty of fish, so
Plenty of fish. Oh, yes,
we-
she was doing that.
And
yeah,
I
we
do
cooked
have
those up.
rations, which I haven't had to
I've
use.
got rations. Yep.
Good stuff.
I also have a
Okay.
couple rations.
I have 1 day trail rations left, so not that much.
I'm still eating 2-day-old fish.
Okay.
I'll have no
So
better-
after nightfall and morning, you guys make way again after your first night. And as you round the bend around midday to the west, you notice an enormous dock sticking out from a sheerer cliff than this. The side of the bank rises with rocks. Goddamn object would load, I could show you, but yeah. It goes up on the side here until you have basically a huge slip and a long dock, a pier made for bigger boats coming out of it. And Altheria will let you know that you've arrived at Burdusk.
Oh,
Do you guys continue on past Burdusk, or do you stop here?
Isn't this where we're going?
well, this is the goal: is to come here.
Yeah, so.
Well, the Palencia was heading to Scornubel.
So we have to get to Scornubel. This is just the first stop on our way to. I mean,
I think we should stop
Do
and
we
rest.
need to? Do we need supplies? Like I don't. I think we're well stocked on supplies. We should be fine to just keep going. There's no need.
Scornubel is much further down.
We're gonna have
Well,
to
not
stop
yeah,
on
downstream.
we're gonna have to stop on the riverbank somewhere rather than starting here and starting fresh. What time is
Maybe
it?
worth at least grabbing some rations. But the other thing that we could do here is try to gather any type of information of supplies receiving, or this place receiving supplies from Iriabor as well,
or maybe
to see if
someone who can,
limitations are here. Though I do not wish to stay long.
or,
Our mission is rather important.
or maybe somebody can fix the boat.
I doubt my
I'm-
boat is fixable.
No.
I'm curious, right? Here's my question: like, that city is like next to the river, right?
Mhm.
Why don't they just fish if they're hungry?
Which one, Iriabor?
Yeah.
Why don't they just fish? Who are you asking? You're asking Altheria?
Ooh, that might not be a good question to ask. I might get slapped. Forget it. I didn't say nothing.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, so you're pulling up to the dock? Or are you just going past? It's a battle plan.
I do think we should dock. I don't think we should necessarily plan to be here for more than a day.
Stop, get some
But
I assume
rations.
your oars are out because the river's going to push you past this dock pretty quickly. You're in skiffs. You're not in a big boat.
Oh yeah, if we're gonna stop, then let's prepare to stop here.
Yep. Let's
Okay.
go aside, get some rest, get some rations, and we'll start early in the morning. What time is it right now?
Time is midday, about midday.
I'll
Mm,
sleep
we
on
s-
the boat then.
Do we still have a horse and a dog on the boat?
We never had a horse on the boat, but you had a dog on the boat.
I say we leave at first light, like 6 a.m. maybe? Whatever time the sun rises.
That would
Okay.
be fine. I do
As
think
you
that
guys
we need
begin to pull up, while you're discussing what you're going to be doing, you will see, actually, will you see it? Roll spot checks. Do you have dice? Yes, everyone has dice.
But I do not have rolls. Okay, 7 plus 7. Okay, it's not that bad.
16.
Okay. You'll see it.
What should I add?
14.
10.
I
It's
happen to
11
roll really well.
plus something.
Add your spot modifier and your ranks. Your
Yeah,
skills.
mine is 17
17.
because I rolled an 18.
Okay.
I
And
do
which
have a
one of you?
minus one to spot.
Which is your? Who's on the front boat? I think that's the most important part.
I am. I was.
You are
one.
good. You see
Yeah.
it. Where's Lance?
I'm on the back boat.
Lance
is on the back boat.
does not see it.
Mm.
So 15 for the front boat, 18 for the back boat. You hit those numbers.
I have a 17 on the front boat, so
Okay, you see it for sure. You see one of the. It's a person standing in a breastplate with a spear. Turns and runs, shouting. He's clearly shouting and running towards, well, away from you guys. There's another gentleman standing at the end of the dock, not towards the water, towards the land, who is dressed similarly. And there's a man wearing robes walking out. He was about midway down the dock when you started coming toward it. He's walking out toward you guys. Everyone sees this guy.
I will hold my hand and wave out towards him, and I'll speak to the others and say, it looks like there may be some sort of problem going on at the docks.
Oh,
Doesn't look like a
that's
friendly
not
greeting.
good.
This one I don't necessarily think is bad, but it looks like there's guards, and they're heading towards something in a bit of a stressful situation.
The man wearing the robe is still approaching you guys. Are you pulling up? I wish I had the dock to show you guys what it looked like.
Yes,
there are no
we
boats
will-
docked there.
We will pull up as much as we can and to try to
Okay.
get docked in the area, and then I'll speak out as soon as I can.
Okay, who's jumping off to rope the boat?
I'll take care of that. I'm a laborer. That's probably what's expected of me.
Okay. So you grab a piece of rope, you jump off onto the dock. Who on the front boat's doing it?
Well, we do have a specialist in rope.
I am.
Who is that? Oh, Spell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you jump off. The guy will approach you first. He's a ways off, but he's walking forward, and he has a big book in his hand. Excuse me. A large book in his hand. It's closed, and he's walking toward you. And he's inquiring, "What is your business here?" He's
Wait,
addressing
why
you.
did you need a specialist in ropes?
We're
I
tying
don't
the
know.
boat down.
Yeah, you got to tie the boat to the dock, otherwise it's gonna.
Oh, okay. I did not expect to talk to anyone. I just parked here for my friends and I are going to have a little picnic here.
I can hop out shortly as well.
Picnic?
Yes.
Where do you come from?
Up the river.
We sailed from Iriable.
From Iriable.
Yes, it seems as though there's some major supply issues going on.
He looks completely stunned to hear that. He backs up a little bit.
I will
Doesn't
point.
keep walking forward with the authority he had before.
I will point to the boats. There are many obstructions on the way from Iriable to here, including. We saw what was the name of that ship?
The Valencia.
The Valencia. Yeah, even our Valencia from Iriable was sunk down here.
He's making short steps backward, and his head is shaking.
Is he okay?
He's not shaking like he's sick. He's disagreeing.
Yep.
Yes. Disagreeing strongly. For those of you off the boat, who's off the boat?
I am off the.
I'm off the boat because I'm tying the other boat. So
Okay.
You waiting my turn to get off the boat?
Same.
Yeah. You see, besides the guy with the spear at the end of the dock, they're now 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, plus the one who originally left. 11 of those guards approaching
It's hostile.
with a gentleman in front of them, and behind them 3 more plainclothes, commoner-looking people. Well, not plainclothes. They're fairly well-dressed, but they're not wearing armor. Meanwhile, the harbor master is backing up steadily,
Like he's afraid of us?
like he's concerned for his safety.
Oh my.
Well, I'm certainly not going to be raising my sword or anything, but I will look to the rest of them, to the rest of the guards as they come. I will tell everyone else to be a little bit wary, because it seems the relationships between Iriabor and this place are rather sour at the moment.
As soon as
If I
he
had to
feels like
guess-
he's... Go ahead.
Nothing serious, just it doesn't seem as though they think that Iriabor is doing their part either.
As soon as he thinks he's pretty far enough away from you guys, he turns, stumbles a second in his sandals, and then does what you would assume he thinks is sprinting away from you. It isn't that fast, nor that coordinated.
I'm certainly not going to attempt to chase him. That's
Hmm.
not a goal.
He stops and has a word with the guy ahead of all the soldiers, I'll call them. They seem to disagree, and he disappears behind them. They keep approaching you.
Oh.
I will walk forward and simply hold a hand up. My arms and shield are certainly at my side. I'm not at all attempting to appear threatening. I am a halfling. So I'll simply say, "Hail, and well met."
He
We
looks
do
straight
not
past
intend
you.
to stay long.
He looks straight past you to someone at the boats now getting off. And he goes, "Lady Tindling, my scouts were correct in saying that they had seen you. What brings you to our humble town?" He's talking to Alatheria.
Who you're playing, right?
Yep.
I am.
Okay. I'm just curious if you were waiting for a reply or something. Right?
No, she looks like she's trying to blend in. And then she kind of greets back. "How do you know me, sir?" And he responds, "Well, I met you once when you were a child. I know your father well, albeit in better times. What brings you to Burdusk?" She says, "Because we have come here to tell you that our supply lines have been interrupted by orcish attacks." And he responds with, "And what proof do you have of this?" She says, "We have orcish ears you guys took."
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the arrow markings and a few of those arrows inside of our boats.
We've also got this, and I offer up the log of the Valencia.
Yes.
He takes a look at the book and gestures to one of the people behind him. I won't say elderly lady, but she does have streaks of gray. Takes the book from you and begins to go through it. What's left of it.
Mhm.
So who has the ears?
I do. I present them. I only have 2, but there were several more.
And these people who are with you, who are they? These are friends who have come to assist me with finding what happened to the Palencia,
Yep.
which we discovered was sunk. He seems intrigued by he came out there prepared for confrontation and is surprised to find that there is actual evidence. So he invites you all to come back with him to be properly greeted in Burdusk.
Nice. Good thing we took those airs.
Yes. I will mention that we also have a couple of the amulets, but I do not like presenting them in
I don't think we should right now.
public company.
Yes.
It's something that I would wish, like, you would like, I'm sure you would like to know, but I would not like to reveal them in public. They can be unsettling.
We can bring that up in
Okay.
a more private company.
So you guys head back across the dock into town, accompanied by 10 guards.
Oh my.
There's a fair amount of whispering and people, you know, commenting on you guys. You basically the talk of the town.
Yeah, we should probably, let people know that we're not actually from Erebor. Okay.
Well, I don't think that we need to make that known just yet.
Yeah.
If anything, the relation should be, if this is at all positive, it should reflect that it was Erebor who did this.
Yeah, no, my character was
I-
just saying that like as a joke under his breath kind of thing.
Yeah.
Porthos will inquire to one of the escorting guards. What temple is dominant in this town?
You ask the guard that.
Yeah.
He kind of sniffs at you and doesn't answer.
Wow.
I am nibbling on some fish.
So polite. He's so polite.
So you get to the town hall. You walk through a pretty long street, which gets progressively nicer, from pretty low rent thatch roof houses to some pretty solid, solidly built properties that look fairly well off. The people in Burdust do not seem as poor, hungry, aggravated, but they do seem pissed with you. So you get to the town hall, which is what you assume it is. It's the largest building you've seen. And at the door, the gentleman who has not introduced himself, but you will assume is someone in charge, walks in, followed by his 3 compatriots, one of which is carrying your journal. But as you try to enter, the first guard stops you. It says, "I'm going to need your weapons."
I will hand mine over without question.
Same. My crossbow
Hey.
is yours.
I'm not carrying any weapons. I've just got pockets full of fish.
He gives you a half-squinted left eye and proceeds to continue gathering weapons from everyone.
He really, really thinks.
I have a sling and some rocks.
Okay. He takes those, he looks at them with curiosity, and hands it to the guard next to him.
And he's carefully concealing his 10-foot pole.
Oh yeah, I also have a 10-foot pole. It's collapsible, so it's only about a foot long now.
Okay. He also looks at you and says, "The dog has to stay outside."
Aw, puppy.
Fine, he'll stay outside.
Okay, so you all surrender your weapons.
Porthos,
no.
Porthos will pipe up.
No, I surrender my crossbow, not my weapons.
Okay.
I don't know if I can use is it move silently, but I'm trying to sneakily put my hunting knife in my boot and I just handing over my crossbow.
Sleight of
At least
hand.
slight.
Oh. So if you're worried about the dog, I'll stay outside with the dog if you'd like.
Oh, he can take care of himself. I'm pretty sure. He's tough.
Well, I know, but I could watch him. Unless you don't want me to.
No, you can stay with my dog. It's okay. If you
Alright.
want, you don't want to come inside.
No, that's fine. I don't think them fine folk will want me around anyway. I stay outside petting the dog.
You hear a voice from inside. "Do let's be quick."
Huh?
Who's
What?
not giving up their weapons?
Oh,
I'm giving up my weapons. Just a crossbow.
Porthos would just say, "Hey, be careful with this. It was given to me when I first received my knighthood. You like give him his long.
Hmm. He seems to handle it more carefully than the other weapons he's received. You making your sleight of hand check, Aranora?
Should roll D20.
Mm-hmm. Add
I
your
roll
ranks.
17. And I'm sorry, what is the name of the spell?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight
Sleight
of
of hand.
hand. Plus 3,
Yep.
it's 20.
It's plus your dex, so yeah. Dex.
Yeah,
So she rolled a
that's
20.
20. I don't have any skills in it, so it's just my dex.
Yep,
20.
she
Dirty.
rolled a
Okay.
dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Cool. What are you doing with it? You put it in your boot?
Yes.
Okay. So, you guys relinquish weapons. You head inside. You enter a corridor that's lit with sconces. Towards the back, as you reach the end of the corridor, there's a huge circular room with large ornate pillars. In the center, there is a circle of couches, essentially. The part facing you is open, so you can walk up to it. And the gentleman who you spoke to on the dock is seated at a central chair between two semicircular couches, essentially. He invites you all to sit down.
I will move over and sit down then.
Yep, I will join.
Oh.
Sit next to Shuri.
I'll
He's
share my
particularly
fish with the dog.
he's particularly curious about this interestingly dressed individual you brought with you.
Who's that?
So now, the hobo.
Oh. Right.
No, I'm not with them. I'm with the dog
Yeah, the
outside.
dog is outside. Yeah.
Oh, you stayed outside? Okay.
Yeah, with the dog. That's what I'm saying. I stayed with the dog outside.
Oh,
That's what
very
my
good.
action was, to feed the dog fish. So I'm feeding dogs some of my fish.
So
Now,
tell me of
Bashir
this.
is also dressed like a peasant. He's in peasant clothing.
He's in peasant clothing?
Yes.
Okay. No armor?
No armor.
Okay. So this gentleman is particularly confused by the attire of your party, which is clearly marked on his face. He's not very good at hiding his interest. Interest, yes. It's a polite way of saying it. So tell me more of this orcish attack on the Palencia. We were told that it would arrive a fortnight ago. Where is it now?
It is in two pieces, unfortunately. Whenever we looked at the boat, not only did it have similar arrow markings to the one that we had on our boats, there were large arrows that would light on fire as they were soaring and landing in our boats. But also, there was a giant puncture in the middle. I'm afraid I'm not very good with the nautical terms, but right in the middle of the boat, there was a giant puncture which ripped the boat in half. We only found the back part.
You, from Iriabor, are not familiar with boats.
I am afraid I am not from Iriabor myself. I came here on a mission of goodwill. Though, I am certain you are far more familiar with the boat features than I am.
And no self-respecting Baduscan would ever not know that it's called a hull. However, I will investigate these allegations you've made. The Palencia, you say, is upriver?
Yes, for us sailing down, I do not know how difficult it would be to track back up, but it was approximately 1 day and I would assume another quarter to get here.
He gestures with his right hand, and a person standing on top of a balcony on the second floor starts walking down a spiral staircase and out the door.
Okay.
I do not know if you would be more familiar with what it might have been that was taken or not, but there was a rather large, I assume a wagon that we found markings for that was being carried away from it. I'm assuming by the orcs, but we elected not to seek it out because it would have taken far too long to do so. I'm certain you will still find the tracks if you look.
A wagon, you say?
I'm not certain, but it had a heavy indention whenever, along with the regular footprints.
I will
So-
investigate these other things shortly. However, why has Iriabor decided to break the accord?
That is actually something that's rather curious on all sides, I suspect, because Iriabor has no food, which is why there is a shortage. I'm assuming this type of intervention is happening between all sides, though I have no
Stop,
proof.
stop. You mock me. Iriabor could not be without food. We have sent constant shipments south to Iriabor.
I believe you. I suspect they are being interrupted just like ours was. To you, I'm assuming you have not been receiving supplies from Iriabor.
No, we have received nothing.
Well, there's probably good reason for this.
Yes, I believe these interventions are. I am but a simple hin, but I do believe that these interventions are being designed to drive a rift between the cities. I'm very curious about the state of the third one, of Skonebel, because I suspect that they are feeling the same about both of your shipments, but I do not know for certain.
Yes, it does seem very deliberate, doesn't it? Too well orchestrated.
Our relationship with Skornubel has gone untainted by these events. It is only Iriabor that fails to send their agreed shipments.
Might I ask what they are typically sending? I'm afraid I'm a simpleton here.
Skornubel?
No, Iriabor. You are certainly more well off than Iriabor is, but I'm certain that you are angered by the fact that you do not have what they would be offering.
I don't understand the question. What do you ship to us?
What does Iriabor ship to you? Yes. We did not see any shipments at all inside of the back half of the hull of the ship whenever we saw it. I suspect that may have been what was being carried off, but it may have been lost with the front part of the ship.
Oh, the Palencia was coming from Iriabor to Burdusk.
Oh,
You want to know what would have been on the Palencia?
yes.
Is that what you're asking him?
Yes.
Oh, so what does Iriabor ship north to Burdusk?
Yes.
Oh, Iriabor does a lot of manufactured stuff. You would know that from being in Iriabor. So they are focused on armor smithing, weaponsmithing, the metal stuff, mainly.
Arms and armor.
Arms and armor, mainly, is what they ship north. They also ship things like little things, hinges, horseshoes. Iriabor gets its supplies from a mine, mainly, and they manufacture those things. But they rely heavily on the food that comes south from Burdusk for them to eat. Now, the food, everything that goes from one to the next has to pass by Burdusk. Skornubel has to come south to Burdusk and then to Iriabor. Iriabor has to go north past Burdusk to Skornubel for their shipments. So Burdusk is the middleman, basically.
So it seems that it's being cut off strictly on the side of Skornubel and Iriabor. No, not the side of Skornubel, but strictly on the side of Iriabor. They are not receiving supplies from Skornubel or you, and they are not able to deliver them. We did see.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm certain you will find a lot of evidence of this intervention whenever you do your investigation, though we are very much curious to see what sort of damage has been caused to you.
But
I am certainly.
I am confused by your manner, sir. We send our shipment to Iriabor, and our men come home.
Oh,
The shipment arrives successfully.
no.
We just receive nothing in return.
That is bizarre.
Look to what's her name? Alithria?
Alatheria? Mhm.
Yes, we both have to
Yeah.
look at her.
Look to her that she's the mayor's daughter.
Her eyes are
Whatever,
wide open. She's shaking her head vigorously. We have received nothing from Scornuble or Berdusk in many months.
Yes, like we said, we are not from there, but she is, and from what we have seen, they are clearly not getting shipments.
Yeah, she tells him, like, the Palencia was really our last effort, after which we would have had to send a land expedition north. Like, it's basically, the Palencia was carrying goods, but it was also carrying, essentially, diplomats, people trying to figure out what's wrong and how to fix it.
We have also found symbols of the god of lies and strife amongst the corpses of our enemies. Is it possible his priesthood is at work here?
I know nothing of this. The god of lies?
Cyric.
Cyric.
I'll show him.
motive on this guy. I'm gonna sense motive.
Yeah, me too.
Roll.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, well, I don't know anything. That's a total of 5. Natural 1. Oh yes, he's the most truthful person that ever spoke.
I got a 22.
Nice.
Based on the furrow of his brow and the genuine look of confusion on his face, he has no idea what you're talking about.
I'll show him the orc staff, and what's Sesam's character's name?
Friar Savost.
Friar, show him the necklace we found.
He does. And the gentleman who you have not been introduced to, he gestures to the woman who has the book. She is standing on the side, outside of these couches. There's a slightly raised area with banisters. She's standing off to the side on one of those reading podiums, going through the book, trying to decipher it. Doesn't really seem to be by magical means, but she could be. She could be capable of magic. She comes over and she takes a look at these holy symbols, and she does identify them as the holy symbol of Cyric. And she goes through the whole litany of what Cyric is, who Cyric is.
So we have not been introduced to this man as yet.
You don't have his name.
So I will introduce myself as Dalran, an adventurer with this party who has been,
Avernese.
Yeah, sorry, I mean Arrhenius, my bad. All the mages are the same, but yes. So yeah, I just introduce myself and wait.
I am Sir Porthos, Knight Errant.
Sorry, what do you say?
I am God damn, I can't fucking talk tonight. I am Sir Porthos. Yeah, Knight Errant, late of Luskin.
Okay.
If you see vodka on sale, don't buy it.
I'm not sure.
I am Sherry Thorngage. I doubt my family would be worthy of mention in any type of regal capacity.
It's the sheer.
He looks surprised and disappointed. He says, "Oh, forgive me. I am Mayor Daros Ufovan. Sorry you didn't introduce myself, but I assumed that Lady Tindling would know who I was."
Oh, I'm certain she does. We simply do not. We were actually on our way to Scornoble, but we stopped here whenever we noticed that there was confusion at the docks, and to try and get as much information as we could. It is actually not you that the main confusion was with the supplies not arriving. I believe it was the food, because the food is from Scornoble, is it not?
The shipments of grain?
Yes.
Yes, the shipments of grain come through Scornoble, but when they arrive here, we make bread, and we grind it into flour. We do a lot of the processing here in Bridusk.
That's quite impressive. I'm afraid I'm rather ignorant of the supply trade, but that means that the food that was made here does not make it there, but the sailors believe it does. I do not know if there's some way that they're being deceived. I do not believe that your sailors are distrustful.
He squints an eye, stands. Excuse me, good people. Walks out through the corridor towards one of his guards, speaks to him, walks back in and sits down, looking truly perplexed about the situation.
I wish I had the answers to this situation as well, sir. That's why we are here.
Could we maybe speak to some of the sailors who, confirmed that they delivered things to Erebor?
I have just sent for the crew who goes south with the Erebor shipments. They will be brought to me shortly.
Good. It would be nice to get to the root of this question.
In the interim,
like if they're liars, if they're servants of Cyric, and you're about to bring them into your presence, shouldn't we have weapons?
I believe they have guards to handle that.
And how many weapons did we give up? Like, we didn't give up that many weapons.
but Duskan guards are fully equipped to handle this situation. Can I offer you some refreshments while you wait?
I would be happy to accept.
Cheese and bread.
Cheesy bread?
Cheese and bread.
Oh, I was going to say, this isn't Papa John's. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm afraid one friend here does not
like a pepperoni pie.
take in meat.
You're outside eating fish.
Hey,
Some of it I am feeding to the dog, though.
Okay.
So,
are there chairs or end tables around
Sitting
us?
on the semi-circle chairs, I believe.
There are no end tables. There isn't a center table. This appears to be like a meeting room. It's
there
directly in from the...
Is there a lamp or an ashtray, stuff like that?
A lamp or an ashtray? There are none of those things.
What about like a pitcher, like a tea pitcher, like a metal pitcher?
In the hall? No.
Okay, Porthos is gonna take off his helmet and just like cup it in his hands, like test the weight of it.
Okay. Sure. That's cool.
in the meantime, I'm just going to sit around and wait. I've accepted the generous offer of refreshments. But other than that, I'm certainly not going to try to make a burden of myself at this moment. Even though they're not suffering from food, they have suffered quite enough with their lack of supplies.
Oh no. Somebody's gone AFK. It's not good.
Who?
Evan. Supposed to have an aside with him real quick, but he has gone AFK.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
I keep saying I'm part of the Darkwood family, but does the Darkwood family actually exist?
You tell me. It's your family.
Well, I'm pretty much like this strange son of this noble family of paladin, knightly lords, and I'm pretty much I want to become a bard, and that didn't go so well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the.
So is Algerian Darkwood your father? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Lord Algerian Darkwood. Paladin of Torm. King Emperor Darkwood. Yeah.
God
King
Emperor. Okay.
God King. Let's not forget.
God King Emperor.
God
He
King
ascended.
Emperor,
Yeah.
of everything.
Ruler of the
It's
Nine
kind of
Heavens.
like how, like, when Caesar died, they put him in the Pantheon. The same thing happened with Algerian Darkwood. He's a god now.
Yep. He's earned his place.
Oh,
Believable.
So after refreshments are served, and you have eaten and drank,
Tea.
and are
And
sitting
bread.
there waiting patiently, you'd say about, again, in this world they don't count time with clocks, but about an hour has passed. When a guard comes running in, stops midway down the corridor, Darius gets up, walks down to meet him. He turns and walks back in. And he says, "We have searched for them. We have searched for these people, but apparently the crew have gone missing. They're not here."
That is concerning.
We have all the town guard currently out looking for them. We should find them by nightfall.
I mean, this is a major port city, correct?
It's a minor port town.
I mean, they could have just got back on their boats and left, couldn't they?
They could have, but they would have had got past the harbor master. The guy you met who ran from you?
Yeah, he does seem very attentive.
Mhm.
I would assume that you would have checked first if the boats were still there. So I'm certain that's not the case.
I mean no disrespect, but could he have been paid off?
The harbor master?
Mm-hmm. To
Based on what you are telling me, if it is true, that is well within reason at this point.
The biggest concern I have is whether or not this is happening. The shipments by both ways are not making it, and I know that Erebor has no such concerns. They are so desperate for food that they would certainly not be stopping their shipments.
You are absolutely right, sir. You are absolutely right. We will find that crew, and we will get to the bottom of this mystery. But for now, take a shipment of food south in good faith. I trust that in your capable hands, it will arrive safely and securely. And give Mayor Tindling my warmest regards and my deepest apology for doubting the integrity of Erebor.
Your apology is not going to be necessary. This misunderstanding was forced. It was not yours. But
When we have gotten to the bottom of this travesty, I myself will visit him. He takes Aletheria by the hand, and for the first time he shows humility. He's this picture of a Roman senator. He's been standing upright with his, air of superiority the entire time, but he takes her hand, he gets down on one knee, and he offers her his humblest apologies and deepest sympathies for the pain and suffering he has caused. That not that he's caused, but that Erebor has suffered, while they just believed that Erebor was being
Bad.
a bad debtor, I guess. It's kind of how he's coming across. It's almost as if he thought they owed him money
Yeah.
and they were avoiding paying. So he had basically cut off the supply of food because if I keep giving you something, you're not giving me money for it, I'm not going to keep giving it to you. I'm going to stop at some point. So he feels deeply apologetic for not, I guess, trusting someone who he would have once called a friend.
Aw,
I'm just going
So
to
he
be smiling at
expresses
that. It's a very sweet sentiment.
it is.
So with that, he ushers you. If you have any more questions, he'll usher you out and send you. Make sure you get your weapons back.
I have one more
Thank you.
question.
You're a paladin, right? You're wearing your
Yeah.
armor. Yeah.
My Lord Mayor, what temple is dominant in your city?
Temple. We have several.
Yes. Which one is the largest? You would say?
The largest temple. That's. I mean, which has the largest following?
Yeah.
It's a pretty even distribution.
That's the way many towns are. I don't think many towns necessarily have a patron deity.
Yeah, Nytherbane is an oddity.
Are they all of the lawful variety, or is there like chaotic good? Is there neutral?
There's going to be several.
I'm asking the mayor.
Give me a second. I will tell you.
If you like pina colada, why is that always in my head?
It's a catchy tune.
It really is.
Damn it.
It's really, really unfortunate. I just need to check something real quick. You want to know which temples there are to which gods?
I'm just like the majority of the city. Like who do they adhere to?
I think it's split. That's what he's saying. So it's like it's like
So, okay, so in this world, generally, people believe and worship more than one god. They're not like all devotees of a single god.
Okay, so it's a polytheistic city.
Well, it's a polytheistic world.
yeah.
There are
Right,
some
right.
races that are very limited in who they'll worship.
Okay, let me put it this way: when Porthos looks at the skyline of the city, which temple is the main temple? Like what dominates the skyline?
I don't think I need to.
It's a great question. They don't have large temples like that. It's not. There are temples, but it's like asking me which mosque.
There's no cathedral, is what I'm saying.
No. There's no like. No,
Yeah, this is like
it's not that big a town. Yeah.
If there was a big prevalence, I would assume it'd be like Valkyr, who's like the god of sailors, or like Ishtishia, the god of the sea. But I'm sure there's tons.
Yeah, or Umberly.
Yeah, very likely Umberly. Like Umberly's an evil god, but good people will worship her just to be like, please don't kill me.
Is there
Really?
is there a temple to Umberly?
There is not a temple to Umberly.
Is there a temple to Torm?
Would there be worshippers of Umberly? Sure. Is there a temple to Umberly? No. Hang on, I'm just trying to get the right book here to make sure I'm not doing it wrong. Because what I really want to do is have a temple to Ilona. I just want to make sure that she's in this campaign setting.
I don't think Alona's in this one.
She's not. God damn.
It's like the good goddess of nature. There's two big ones. There's like the pacifist one, which is Eldath, and then there's Mieliki, who's like the one that believes that like metal goods and stuff are still acceptable, but still like the good god of nature or goddess.
Okay. So I'm going to say there's a temple to Shantea.
Oh, that's
one, two.
yeah.
To Beyonce? Oh, sorry. My bad.
Not to Beyonce. One to Joaquin. Trying to find, now that you have me on this port city thing.
Eldath would be a good choice also.
Yes, Eldath is like the pacifist one.
Yeah, goddess of peace, neutral good god of life and nature, and her symbol is a waterfall plunging into a still pool.
Okay, we'll go with Eldath. And I don't see her under deities. Is she a lesser deity?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I will send you the link that I have of the entire Forgotten Realms pantheon.
I have it here. I have the Forgotten Realms, Forgotten Realms and Faiths and Pantheons.
Yeah, Shanti's a huge one in rural areas, so that makes perfect sense. That's like the
Yep.
goddess of the harvest.
And temple, when you think of temple, don't think of like a large Greek or Roman temple. Think of a clearly designed around the god, the worship of the god. But they're not going to have thousands of followers going to that temple.
I thought Ashanti was dead.
What are you boy? This is not fucking Motown Records. Calm down. What's happening with you?
It's funny.
So yeah. Do you want to visit one of these temples?
I mean, are we staying here overnight? Is that the plan?
No, it's afternoon. He's having a ship loaded up with bags of flour and bread. They call bread.
All right, so that's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Porthos will go over to the Temple of Joaquin.
Interesting choice.
Okay.
That's what's going on. I will go over to the ship. I'm just going to see if whatever I can do to help speed the process along.
Or are they all leaving the place they were inside of?
Yes.
Oh.
They're walking out the door, so they're going to be passing by you. You've been surrounded by these, not surrounded, but the 10 guards have remained outside, even though you've seen people come and go.
Right. Any information based on the thing I was doing?
Oh, yes. Hang on.
I don't trust any of this.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, personally, I trust like the actual person here. I don't trust anybody else in the city. So I don't know what the cause is, which is the bigger problem. Like, even if we get this food over, it doesn't solve the fact that the shipments are still going to get interrupted.
Perhaps we're going to get whatever happens to them will happen to.
It's very likely. The only advantage we have is that we're prepared for it, and most of them probably aren't. So there's that, but it's not like we're masterful sailors.
But it is a nice peace offering and a good statement between the cities, at least.
I do think that what happened to the other boats is what happened to us, though, where like the archers fired,
Right.
and then I don't know what happened after that. I'm assuming the boat caught fire, so they had to dock it, and that's where they destroyed the boat. But
I am confident that we can get it there.
I'd like to talk to the harbor master, see if he got, bribed. You think?
it's possible. I don't know if it would have been the harbor master that would have known, because yeah, it's possible. But whether or not like the sailors are the big one, because if they left with the bread and then came back and said it arrived,
Right.
then there wouldn't necessarily have been anything on their boats when they got back.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, they're missing right now, right?
That
So
crew is missing, yes.
If they have gotten on, like Wordis said, if they could have gotten on their ship, right?
True.
And just left. And so what I'm saying is, if the harbor master was bribed to help them leave without any record of it, right? Maybe we should question him to see if something like that happened.
True. We have a little bit of time right now anyway, so it's probably worth it, but I don't want to go street justice too much on it with the guards here. Like, we got to let them do their part, but at the same time, we got to do ours too. We're hired to investigate this. So
Yeah,
We
I'm
still
not,
need
I'm
to
not
do our
saying
part.
beat the crap out of the harbor master and
Mhm.
force it telling us, but I'm sure we have,
we can probably
means.
be there to like influence the guards to do what needs to be done.
I mean, I got my crowbar still.
Yeah, I mean,
let's not use the
There's-
crowbar.
Pop it in the fireplace.
always crowbar diplomacy we can use.
Let's not do that because that's gonna end poorly for us. The guards already don't like us or trust us.
this is true. The whole city doesn't trust us. The fact that he's like, no, it's good, it's probably not going to make it okay until they start seeing shipments show up. It's the townsfolk. They're not that easily convinced.
I think we can do intimidation without violence, with the guards present or with their blessing. But I definitely don't think we should, go rogue.
I mean, it's rare when law enforcement likes other people doing their jobs.
This is very true.
Yeah.
The bottom of this.
I have a strong feeling that on our way to deliver this, we're going to encounter some of the answers that are necessary.
Oh, I'm sure we are. I'm pretty sure we encountered some of the answers that were necessary when we were coming over here.
Yeah.
We were still getting shot.
Yes, we need to get to the root of this Cyric issue. I think it might be more than just orcs.
It very well could be. But right now, we don't know, so we're in a little bit of trouble.
Yes, we don't know how deep the corruption goes.
I mean, he's the god of lies and strife. I'd be disappointed if it was just orcs.
Okay, there's a well-fed dog. Well-fed fish. Dog-like fish.
He is extremely happy and following. Sorry, what's your name? What's your name, Evan?
Basil.
Ozzel? Yeah, he's
Basil.
Basil.
He's gonna follow you around for a while. Yeah.
He's following you around.
Oh, that's all right. I'll let him lick the grease off my fingers. That's fine.
Yep.
He's a pretty smart dog, so if he saw where you were pulling fish out of, he'd be trying to very sneakily try to stick his nose in your pocket or whatever, or wherever you're getting it from.
Huh?
But he'd try and do it when you weren't looking.
That's
So
fine.
you guys are splitting up. You're going down to the boat docks. Shuri,
Yes, I'm
where
just
is
going
you're
to
heading?
offer my assistance wherever it's, handy.
Yeah, they're loading the hold of a Palencia-sized ship.
What time of day is it again?
This is afternoon.
When I
I'd
heard
say 2 o'clock.
When I overheard what I overheard, I knew who they were referring to, or is that just the general information of what I heard? Do I know who those?
Do you know
guys were
who
looking
they are? No. You know whoever they were looking for. That happened.
for? Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And you're heading off to the Temple of Joaquin.
Yeah.
Okay. With a particular plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a temple to Torm?
No.
Not. Okay.
Carrie, I know what's your character's name?
Here?
I forgot out of game.
Zashir.
I lean into Shazir's ear and go, I don't know who the gods were looking for, but whoever it is, they skipped town.
Oh yeah. They were the sailors.
Oh, because I
Right.
just know that the gods came. But I don't know. I was out here with a dog, but I overheard someone come out from inside and talk to the gods, and they said that whoever they are, their wives are gone, everything's gone, their houses are they're gone. They left, but their boats are here. So I can only assume that meant somebody came here by boat. I don't know who it is that they were looking for, but it seemed different. It wasn't like the rest of the thing. Oh, also, most of the town's pretty angry with our town back home because they claim that we're greedy and we're keeping all the grains. But I swear, sir, we have not received any food shipments. I swear to you. Oh, I'm not the only one going hungry here.
Yeah, those. I think the sailors, they're the ones that were supposed to deliver the food, and that. So like, I don't know why they're gone, but they're the they're the ones that were delivering the food to Iriabor, but and said that they did, but clearly they didn't. So
Well,
that's who we're looking for.
Foul
He's
play.
he's a good dog. I'll be careful with
At-
most of these town folk. They know you've been through that my town, that they might be angry and cross with you. Maybe they try to charge you more for goods.
Oh, I'll not tell anybody I'm from there. Yeah. Okay.
I think they know who we are now.
Alright, we're getting a big boat now to go
Oh.
back with food.
Oh, that's great. I'll stick with Yellow if that's all right with you. Alright, and I follow Cariano and the dog.
Okay, within an hour, they have loaded that boat with various grain and baked goods. Oh, thought something was happening. Yeah. And your skiffs have been attached to the side. They've been roped to the side of this big boat, and basically pulled up to be used. They basically look like what do you call them? Lifeboats.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are ready to depart.
Well, then I will hop on and essentially just wait for the others to arrive. I'm assuming they
Okay.
will be seeing this happen as it goes. I will just take a quick look, just because we don't know where anybody went. So I'm just going to take a quick look through the boat to see what it looks like.
I was with Carrie, I suppose. So I'm just going with them.
Where did Cariana go?
He's gonna do the boat, right?
Yes, I was gonna head. I was gonna head to a tavern, but just to like sort of get
Oh, yeah,
the ear of
rations.
the people. Rations too. That's a good idea, but hearing that they're very unhappy with our town, I'm having second thoughts about doing any kind of shopping.
Spell?
I don't have second thoughts about shopping.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some rations.
Of course not. Of course not.
I'm going shopping.
I'm going
Okay.
with what Nora? Yeah. I'm not going shopping.
I'm
I just want to
going
get
with
some
Spell.
rations.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm following Aranora.
Okay.
We're going
I'm
shopping.
gonna be preaching the glory of Torm in the Scarlet Land.
Altheria is overseeing the loading of the well, not overseeing, but watching it, looking to see what's being added to the ship, the hold. Well, within an hour, the boat's fully loaded and ready to go.
Do we find rations? Because that's all I'm looking
You
for.
will. Sure. There's one thing this town has no shortage of, and that is food.
Alright, so I
There
just
is an
find, like,
abundance of food. You're looking for like dried rations?
maybe a combination of both, like some food that we can make last for the next day, as well as some rations, some dried food for the longer journey.
Sure.
How much would it cost for about 7 days worth for the whole party?
Rations. Don't remember the cost of these things offhand.
I use my invocation of see the unseen while they're loading up the boat and making sure that nothing invisible is being snuck in with the shipment.
That is not happening.
Okay.
Okay, so rations are going to be 5 silver pieces per day.
Okay, so that's 7 by 5 is 35 per. How many of us there? 1, 2,
9 of you all?
9. Okay,
Mhm.
so
3.5 times 9.
yeah, I'm not good with math, so calculator. 31.5 gold. Yeah, I have that on me.
Okay.
So I will sponsor that and recommend someone get something a little heartier for the first day's travel. 21.
Let somebody else buy it? Sure. If they want to buy it, they can buy it.
If they want to, they don't have to. I will distribute the rations that I purchased.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, sir. Thank you
How
so
about
much.
like a nice big pig?
Does
Okay.
sound good.
You want to buy a
Salt
big
it.
pig?
We could salt
I
Yeah,
it.
to
don't-
like eat.
Right, but I don't think a pig roast on a boat is advisable, sir.
It can run away. Oh, you mean
Oh,
like
I thought you meant like a
already?
pre-roasted pig, not one that you had to roast.
Maybe some salted meat.
Well, it's cheaper when you buy them fresh.
I guess. You're more likely to find fish. Lots of different types of fish and smoked fish. It's
Yeah,
particularly
can we get some
travel savvy.
preserves? Like pickles, cabbage, smoked fish.
Sure. All those things are available. You can get pickled pig testicles if that's what you're looking for.
Oh,
That is
God.
available as well.
We don't need it.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
It's a
Is there,
delicacy
like-
in some places.
Is there bacon? Maybe I just go smaller. Is there bacon?
Yeah, let's get something like
Yes, you definitely can get bacon.
that. Like I was
Is,
saying,
Excellent.
dried meat.
is
Yeah.
there hog head cheese?
There is no hog head
Guys,
cheese.
you're so picky. I will get some bread and some water. That's it.
Okay.
I
You're
want
literally on a giant food ship.
bacon,
So
and I want enough bacon for everybody, and
Yes.
Forever.
enough eggs for
Yes.
everybody.
Carries my
We're gonna
man.
have bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, motherfucker. That's a great idea.
okay.
Eggs
Yeah,
are easy to carry.
y'all
And then
are
we'll
too
get some
squeamish.
potatoes for hash browns.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
Sherry will appreciate that.
I think
I will definitely like that. I'm just not there, so I can't really make decisions.
Oh,
I think that Carrie should do the cooking. Yes. Great.
did you really buy a 10-foot pole?
I did.
Good
So we
lord.
can say I wouldn't touch it with my 10-foot pole.
Are there any pickled pig's feet?
Yes, you can get pickled pig's feet.
I'll buy a jar of them.
Sure.
Call that souse. Sorry. Okay.
No, Souse is the head cheese, and there's none of that.
I don't know what's happening anymore. But you guys have a boat that's ready to leave. What are you doing?
We need to find out what Porthos is doing, I think, because
Yes.
once he gets back,
He was buying pickled pig's feet.
he was going to that temple.
Oh. You can't buy pickled pig's feet at the temple.
Rats.
They do not have it for sale there.
I will buy a pickled altar boy.
What?
Whoa.
Well,
I'm
they don't
sorry,
have
that was-
altar boys, and
That-
not
that
because
was
they
fucked
pickled them.
up. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Not because they pickled them. That's not the reason, just to be clear.
Yep.
I logged into the wrong conversation.
Welcome.
No pickled altar boys.
Welcome.
Just understand that Porthos, our paladin, is looking for pickled altar boys, and just move on. That's
Yeah,
what is going on.
he is
What you guys doing?
in every campaign. I swear.
I'm spreading the
Uh,
good word. I'm spreading the good word of Torm.
Oh,
Um,
the town
Because the boat
square.
is ready to go.
Oh,
And
Let's all
it's
get
a
on
bit.
the boat.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
all
Let's
get
go.
on the boat.
All right.
go.
it's boat time.
I'll
Okay.
be eating my pig's feet.
Okay.
He didn't get pig's feet because you were at the temple.
Oh, I thought we canceled that trip because of time delays.
Oh, so you got pig's feet? I'm confused.
Sure. He has a jar of pickled pig's feet.
Yummy.
Yup.
All right, it's time for us to
Okay.
sail back. Is
So,
anybody going to be coming with us from the town? I don't know if they want to send a representative or not.
of their town, well,
Not a bad idea.
they have put a few, let's say 6 armed guards. By armed, I mean spearmen on the boat with you, and they have a full complement of sailors.
Perfect.
Good
Okay.
enough. Yep.
So
You
our
guys will
goal
not be sailing the ship. Yep. They're going to use the wind, and they're going to be, huh?
Can I cast Detect Evil and just like walk around the ship?
Okay. Do you have the holy symbols with you of Zurich?
Probably, yeah.
They're gonna shine very brightly, so think twice.
They're not going to be crazy bright. It's not unconscious bright.
I just assume the amount of them. But are we going to inquire about these sailors, or did we address that? I remember we addressed it above table, but not in game.
You guys don't know.
We learned that, or rather, I learned. I guess I didn't exactly say it out loud, but that they had not left by boat. They left seemingly on foot. I guess that was what you said, right, Evan?
Oh yeah, they didn't leave by sea. They just disappeared. They're not in their houses. They all think they just left by land.
Oh, I
Right.
wasn't aware that they left at all. Okay.
Yeah, they went to look for them.
I was just curious about the sailors. So.
An interesting thought occurs to me, though. The path that they interrupt is the one that has both military supplies and food, which is the 2 things that you would need to continue supplying an army. So it's very likely that something is building inside of this area. I don't think that this was chosen on accident.
Scary times.
So we weigh anchor?
Do I pick anything up with my sense evil?
No, you don't detect any sense evil other than the things that you have already. Nothing there is particularly evil. It's just a lot of grain in the hold, and not grain, I keep saying grain, flour, milled flour, and various food products.
Is it
That's about
processed
it.
cheese food product?
There is no processed cheese. I am sorry. So these guys are going to be using wind and rowing because they're going upstream in a very large boat. You guys ready to depart?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget to
Aletheria
mark-
stands.
Sorry.
Huh?
I was just saying, don't forget to mark 7 days rations, because I would have passed them out once we got to the boat and everyone was present.
Yep, make sure you got it. And pickled pig's feet, and bacon, and eggs.
How much
Those
bacon?
eggs will not last forever.
Oh no, you guys are gonna
Huh?
you're gonna keep the eggs and bacon, right, Carrie? And you just make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it in the morning.
Awesome.
Keep that in mind. Those eggs will hatch eventually. So
Wait,
I may,
Then we eat the
I might
chickens.
keep one egg so it can hatch, and then I'll do a chicken coop.
I'm gonna eat that chicken. I'm just saying. Anyway.
No, get away from my chicken.
Jesus. Watch your dog, man.
More
Watch
meat
your
than an
dog.
egg.
No one's touching this dog in that way. This friendly dog eats fish.
Okay, nothing eventful is going to happen, so I'm going to pass time quickly. And in 3 days, you guys make it to the port in Iriabor, which I believe I still have. That version of it.
Aye.
How everything's locked. That sucks.
We have never gotten somewhere this quickly in any campaign ever. I just like to point that out.
Tamer!
We can slow time down if you want,
No,
but nothing eventful is going to happen.
No, it's good. It's good. I'm just saying.
So let me skip some. Do I have everybody selected? That looks like everybody got y'all. Okay. See if I can find. Ooh, where did it go?
We have selectable pieces back here on the back, I think.
Who did I forget?
Behind the table thing, there's selectable pieces.
Oh yeah, these are important too. I don't think these are locked. Oh, I lost everything. Great. Let's get all you guys. Make sure everyone is copied. I think that's everybody. Let's go to town.
Fudge.
Here we are. Back in what I'm using as Iriabor.
Yay. Rome.
There we go. Everybody's somewhere.
I noticed this ship has cannons. Is that like accurate?
The ship has cannons? You mean back in those days, were there cannons?
No, this model right here. It has cannons. Is that?
Well, it doesn't have cannons, but it has ports for cannons. Oh no, it does have cannons. There they are.
Yeah. There are cannons there. Is it accurate for that boat? No. Where are you guys? Oh, you're all here. Here you are. I have found you. Okay. Everyone loaded in successfully? Yes?
Yep.
Okay. So when you arrive in Iriabor, people, again, Iriabor is completely different to Burdusk. Burdusk seems to be very busy, bustling. People are living their lives. Iriabor, people are lethargic. They are very suspicious of strangers.
Eating
It's
horses.
a very different. Sometimes, yes. Depending on how hungry they are. Not if they can help it. But yeah, so the people who see you arrive at the dock are cautious at first. They see Aletheria, and they become more welcoming. When you guys start to take bags of grain out of the hold, you have essentially a stampede.
We became celebrities, guys.
People come rushing to aid in this procurement of the flour, especially the food.
I will be looking around and just asking out loud as loud as possible. Can someone grab a hold of the mare? We do need to arrange a shipment back, I'm certain. That there's news that we must report.
Nobody seems particularly interested in you. They're very interested in the food.
Fair enough.
Like all of them. Everyone from the guards to the common folk.
To see a
Yeah, I'll look to Aletheria and ask if she can go grab him. Well, I'm going to be helping with the unloading of the food.
Okay. Well, she is winding her way down to push past these people to get towards the center of town to where her the mayoral mansion is. Who's going with her?
Sashir will.
So Shira's going with. Shiri's helping unload the boat.
Lance will also go.
I'll join too.
Lance is going. Okay.
I'm staying out of sight in the boats. It's only been a few days, and these people were trying to burn me at the stake. So,
In fact,
that is true.
I'll stay with Shiri.
Oh, it's fine if you wish to go and just unload.
No, it's okay.
It
I'll
seems the right thing.
Thinking
Okay.
about
Lance,
what my
work those.
character would really do here.
I'll go to the mayor.
Okay. So our merry band makes its way through town. Once you get past the docks where people are flooding in, and then walking their way out with huge bags of flour and various other products. It becomes smooth sailing. You get to the mayor's mansion, and Mayor Tindling is waiting for you. And of course, he has a very warm reception for his daughter. He has missed her. He was worried about her safety. I know she will, but do you guys relay what happened?
Doesn't
Yes.
seem like our place.
You're going to let her explain it to him? So she does. She tells him that, all the shipments going north have been interrupted, and all the shipments coming south have been apparently. The people delivering were the ones who were vagabonds. Not quite traitors, but similar. She uses some very strong language. Just imagine the actual player character, Alithria, using some very strong language. So yeah,
Strong.
you guys are going to add anything to it?
All I would do is ask that. Well, I'm not there, but I did ask for them to see if the mayor could come over because I did have things that I wanted to mention. But I'm still going to just help with the undead.
Yeah, we'll say that he should come down.
Oh, you couldn't stop. He is heading to see the grain. He is not the grain, the supplies. I keep saying grain, but it's not raw grain.
I'm checking the boat for invisible fairies, and when I don't find any, I'm going to stay hidden below deck till the sailors get me off the boat.
Okay, I'm going to put a fairy combat for you because you are begging for it. But yeah, so he makes his way down to the dock, and he is welling up in the eyes. He is so pleased that his people will eat properly 4 weeks with the amount of food supplies there. Alithria does mention a return shipment, and he has the people he can pull, his people, start to organize a return shipment north.
And as I hear that, because this is at the docks at this point, I will simply nod and say, just let me know what I can do to help. I will definitely help reload the ship. They were very reasonable whenever we spoke with them.
He will let you know that they have some supplies with regards to metalwork, but not much. Very, very little. But now that people are well fed, they can begin to,
Yes.
produce more.
So long as we can send what we can now is at least a promise. And then from then on, we can always make good on it.
Yeah, he will welcome the help.
So I will
And when,
assist you.
yeah, the shipment that he's going to be sending is not going to go now. He'll let you know it'll take about 2 weeks to be able to get enough material to make a shipment north. They'd have to put their blacksmiths back to work, basically.
So I'll just look at the ship's crew that came with us and ask if that's acceptable.
Yeah, he will request that the boat wait so that he can personally go north to Burdusk with his shipment of
Wait,
his end of the
wait. You're going yourself?
He will go with the next shipment, yeah.
I think that we should be ready.
That's a terrible idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I do think that we need to be on guard because
No.
You're
will
gonna
be
die.
Yeah, you should not go alone.
You're gonna
Whoa,
get
wait.
captured. You're gonna get captured by orcs and tortured to death and turned into a whip.
You say this to him?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God. Word is
Okay.
a little ray of sunshine.
I would not be as harsh as our friends here, but I would exercise caution. All of the ships have been attacked. I'm certain you heard what the fate of the one that we were sent to investigate. It is in half.
Okay, then he agrees to take a complement of guards. Once he gets those forges going again, they're able to get up to production. He will have, because they've been basically taking their own supplies of armor, weapons, and sending it, hoping that it will be enough to get the shipments coming back south. So once they get their stuff going, within 2 weeks, he will have a complement of guards to go with him. Well armored, well geared.
Wonderful. I'm certain that the last ships that have gone have not been nearly as well protected simply because they didn't think there was a need. Or there was not the means.
There wasn't
So
the means.
it's good.
Mm-hmm. So he inquires
yes,
about you guys. What are you going to be doing?
To be honest, I'm not certain. We were sent here for this task. I suspect that we will be receiving something new rather soon, but we have heard nothing.
He would like to reward you, but unfortunately, what they make is not available right now to give you. But what he does have, he will. And he gives you his staff. You, the party. He says it surely will fetch a price in the south.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm. It looks really fancy.
You do us a great honor. Thank you.
He also says if you're ever in Iriabor again, he will be sure to properly outfit you. What he can give you is horses, if you intend to head south, to make your journey, well, obviously faster, more efficient. And he does offer you a share of the supplies that he has, that, the town has got.
Well, there's going to be a shortage. I would not want to take much,
I'll take
but
none, personally.
some would be good.
They have food for weeks. It's a lot. They're still emptying the hold while you guys are talking. It's just coming and coming and coming. It's a lot of flour that's at minimum gruel. Like they can pour that in a pot with some water, throw in some herbs, and have a less than desirable but effective meal. Once they get up and running, they can bake their own bread. They can, they have a way to feed themselves. They can make it through a winter. Well, not with this, but they can make it for several weeks with the amount of supplies they've got.
I'm going to be showing an honest relief there. This town was suffering so much, and obviously Ondala is always about bounty, so I'm pleased to see that they are not suffering.
Like, what are the defenses of this town like?
The defenses? Okay, so right now? Do you mean right now? Where is?
Yeah, like, is there like a wall, a palisade?
Oh, they have walls around the land part of the town, yeah. But around the water, it's just dock.
Okay, they should be fine.
Oh, and I will look to the mayor and say, Basil, the one who was persecuted before, was of great assistance to us, so I would like to vouch for him on that part.
The He Witch?
Yes, I
Oh gosh.
have little to say in that regard, but he was instrumental in saving this town, so I do think that should be bared in mind.
He doesn't see him. He's still hiding on the boat, right?
Absolutely. Yes. No way am I going off of this damn boat. I see.
He is understandably not eager to be seen at the moment.
He says all of you are always welcome in Iriabor. As long as he is mayor, your names will be remembered in Iriabor.
Oh, that's how Ark sets him up to die.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're gonna be a martyr.
I'm gonna have 2 whips before this campaign's done.
So what are we doing? Are we spending the night?
I mean,
I do think that would be best. I mean, the sea is not exactly the most comfortable place.
Well, you have horses now.
True, a place to sleep and then we can just ride off. That would be good.
I mean, what is south?
South is Nytherbane.
I mean,
That's where you came from.
Shouldn't we meet up with the wizard?
Well,
In-
the place we
in
met
Nytherbane?
was in Nytherbane, so I suspect we should probably try to meet back at the inn that we were meeting in before. I do not know for certain, though. It may be best to check the inn here to see if there's some sort of instructions.
No, the last thing he told you was to talk to Harold.
Yeah, I think it would be best for us to return to Nytherbane as soon as we're done here. But I think a rest at the inn would be wise. It's been a long trip.
I'm definitely resting in an inn.
Okay, so you guys head to the inn to rest. The town is alive that night. It is noisy as fuck. People are celebrating.
Naturally.
You hear periodically, of course, you hear Aletheria's name being cheered. She's getting most of the credit.
Yep.
But you do hear periodically other names, your names.
Oh, they remember us.
hmm And there's
Very
frolicking
good.
well into the early hours of the morning.
I really don't care much about the save. It was more about, saving the people. So I'm happy that they're, going to be in a good mood even after we leave, especially since they're going to have a hero from this with them.
My character jumps and looks around anytime anyone says his name.
Does Arrhenius hear his name?
Sure, you will hear your name. Yeah.
Then he will be very pleased by that, but will not want to show it. So he will look down whenever he hears it. But
Well, you're hearing this in your room in the tavern
Mhm.
when
Well,
you're trying to sleep. Like there's noise.
it would not be.
It's a festive occasion.
He would be upset that he can't get sleep, but he would not be. He would be in glee not sleeping, hearing that people
Okay.
are happy about him. Yeah.
I got a quick question. How rich is this town?
How rich is this town? Okay, so this town right now is really rich. They have food.
Oh, so food rich, but like gold rich. How much? That.
Gold is in short supply, but you get the impression they'll have a lot more once they get their shipments going north.
Uh,
They will be in a much better shape gold wise.
Shit, I was. Okay. Well, no, I'll just join the celebration then.
I will relay my suspicions that the interruptions are possibly for building some sort of army because of the nature of where they decided to interrupt it at. They chose to interrupt the path where it would be food and weapons rather than the grain or the anything else that would be on the other side. They specifically chose the path that would give them what an army would want.
You're telling this to who?
The mayor.
Okay.
I do not know if it's going to be any use. I just think that it's worthwhile. We may have, brought you food and brought a bit of peace, but I do not know if this problem is fully over just yet.
You should also.
He says when he meets with Darius in Burdusk, he will definitely discuss what this means. And once the supply lines are open again and they're able to reestablish the trade, he will ask that they consider a shared defense of their shipments.
Did we tell him of the sailors?
The sailors?
In,
Oh, the ones in Burdusk? I don't know. Did you?
No. So I'll pipe up and say also not to bring any distrust back to your lives, but sailors from Burdusk actually claimed that they had delivered supplies here, and when they were brought to question, suddenly disappeared from their homes. As well, the orcs that are possibly forming an army worship Cyric, who is a lord of deception. So be careful of who you do trust.
And Mr. Mayor, the people of the town believe that we have not been sending the shipments at all. So, some of our goods might end up down in the river, but like some of the goods, they're just not in the next town. So someone has to have them.
He makes note of all of these things, and again reassures you he will discuss with the Berduscans.
I bring the mayor in close and I whisper in his ear. If you ask, the fairies done some illusion magic, see, making the orcs look like humans, right? And they kill the actual sailors that have the shipment, and they take our grain and they take our things that we send to the next town. And they keep it all for themselves.
This is in the morning, right? Afterwards.
Yep.
Okay. He wishes you all well and advises that you get this one. Basil. Someone to talk to. Someone special.
I do
Alex?
suspect that it would be best if he does not stay in the town, regardless of the warmer reception he should be receiving now.
It's up to
I
him.
think it is. Yes. Though, Basil, I do think it is best that you stay with us if you would desire it.
Oh yeah, I don't want to stay here no more. The whole town was gonna burn me. They've all been, influenced by the fire. Turned them against me, you see.
Well, for what it's worth, you know what I think about your situation, but I certainly do not wish any ill towards you. You have been nothing but a boon to us.
All right.
So, Alatheria lets you guys know that she really appreciates what you have done for Erebor. And now that it's in a better shape, she has to stay and ensure that it stays as good as it is.
So that Arcaz
She
won't
can't
die.
leave her father. Yep. And in the morning, most notably, Friar Decane is missing.
Oh no, Kane.
It seems he's finally decided to make that journey on foot. The one he was talking about originally?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh,
Good for him.
He's gone off to live his life.
I share my
This is so noble.
my illusion pixie theory.
You may see him
Well-
again. So, what are you guys doing?
What kind
I
of
think it's time
horses do we get?
Large brown horses.
Do I get a pony?
Do you want the species? You do not get a pony. You get a full-size horse.
Oh, well, this might be a little difficult, but I'll give it my best shot.
You can ride on an alley.
Oh no.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, I'll do that.
Oh, come on. You're gonna ride a dog?
He's a halfling. It's a
Yeah.
riding dog.
It's a riding dog.
It's a riding dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
I didn't know it
halflings
was a
to know.
riding dog. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
Lord, you people.
I didn't know
Don't
there
call
was
the ASPCA.
I've never
We're
heard
covered.
of a riding dog. Okay? I'm just saying.
Because
We don't
you're
have
dealing with
halflings.
real people. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there are little people in real life too.
There are
Okay.
little people, and they would find it insulting if you gave them a dog to ride upon. But
Precisely.
that's because there's a stigma because you see them as handicapped because they're supposed to be normal size. Halflings are that size. They don't give a shit. The dog is a good size for them, and horses are big and scary.
To be fair, if Form can ride an eagle at halfling size, fine. Whatever. Okay,
So, is leave town early in the morning and begin your journey south.
I have my horse is still here, right?
Yeah.
Ellis Far.
Mm-hmm. He's still there. He is fine. So you start the journey south. After you rest, you will be level 4. Yay! Everyone get your XP. Give everybody their XP right now. Shiri, you got 7,900 XP. Lance, you have 7,700 XP. Porthos, 7,700. Arrhenius, 7,300. Aranora, 6,300. Wait, that's not your character. What's your character's name again? It's a Sheer.
Cheer.
Why is your character listed as... Okay. You have 6,800. Basil, you have 6,400.
Yay.
Everyone has leveled to 4.
Woot woot.
Alatheria and Savost have left you. And finally, CRs can go back to normal.
Oh, can I have a camel?
You and this camel obsession. You have got to, like... You don't have to know. It's okay. Yes, you can have a camel.
Where's he finding a camel? This is not a.
I don't know. Isn't she summoning a camel?
No.
No, I will get the wolf, but I just needed to know that I can also have a camel.
Let me see how far you are from
She just needed to know.
Camel Land. You're actually not that far from Camel Land.
There's a Calimport.
Anarok Desert.
So during the night, I heard someone howling in a forest outside of the city, and I went there to check what's going on, and I found a little wolf. He was hurt a little bit. His paw was bleeding, so I took him inside. I bandaged his paw, and I decided that he will stay with me.
Okay.
His name is Sparkle.
But did he decide that?
Of course it is. Also, just to be clear, you would have seen camels in Nytherbane. There are camels.
Cool.
Okay. So we are riding south. We have an abundance of rations
Oh, we get a stat point.
at 4th level.
Yep, we do.
Do you have
Oh yeah,
a
4th level stat point, yeah.
Yep.
That was a feature talking about, yeah.
figure
Do I have a
figurine?
wolf? I do. Let me get you guys back on the road. This is everybody? Let me see who's here. Aranora.
So everyone
Shiri's
gets
riding the dog.
1 stat point.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
One
That's
step.
everybody.
19 int. Awesome.
Okay.
Need 1 more.
Mhm.
When do you get the next one? 8? Seems like it's
Yep.
okay.
Every 4 levels. Yep. The treeless road south. Because I take it you guys are taking the shortest route? You're not following the mountains? What are you doing?
I think with the horses, the shortest route back does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You will be riding straight across what is known as the green fields, which is what it sounds like, large plains of grass. So lots of hay for your horse to eat. Not really hay, but yeah. You know what I mean. How many Alisfars are there?
2. I don't know why, but
Everybody needs an Alisfar. There we
oh,
go.
wow. Okay.
Rename your damn horse.
I will say that nobody looks quite as proper mounted on their horses as I do on my dog.
Yes. You seem to fit your dog perfectly. This is not a good thing. Let me see if I can find. It was a wolf, you said?
Hmm.
I'm gonna get you that wolf. Is everybody leveled?
Yeah.
I am.
Okay, so
Really
you
doesn't
guys
take very
are
long.
all well geared for a trip. You have adequate food and water, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Then the only thing I need rolled is survival checks.
Okay.
I'm gonna need 3 from everybody.
We need dice.
Oh my god, really? Hang on. I went in search of a wolf. This was a fool's errand. What color is your wolf?
White.
You got a white wolf. There you go.
Hey, thank you.
Let's get some dice up in this busy. I have a D. Oh, that was stupid.
So 3 rolls from each.
3 rolls for survival from each of you. Yep. I'm just gonna toss dice out here because it's gonna take me too long to do differently. I already have those. Sorry.
I posted my 3 rolls in order.
Okay. Who has the staff from Master Tinling?
I guess me. I was like, ooh, fancy.
Okay.
No one else claimed it, but
I'm not gonna take it from you. Sure.
It would
Alright.
be too big for me, so I don't want it.
Okay, so can I load this in for you guys again? I think I can. Let me see. Components.
Wait, did I need
Boards.
to add initiate modifier?
Survival.
Yeah, survival.
Survival.
Okay. Let's see where we are. Whoa. Nope. Yep. The hell happened here?
oh, it's so bright.
I know.
I remember the map being more colorful.
Yep. Maybe the time of day. Hang on. There we go. Right. So you guys were here in Iriabor. But you guys are making your way here to Nytherbane. So it's a pretty straight shot once you cross the river through the green fields. You see these rolls. And if you look there, the scale's not here. So this is about, the original run was here along the Snakewood, up by the Troll Mountains, and then here, Terriabor. Now you're going straight. It's going to take you less than 2 weeks. So probably at 15 days. When you arrive at about here, that is Zashir. While you are letting your horses rest and recover, taking a break in the evening, Zashir discovers something that is of interest. Wagon tracks.
Mm.
In the thick brush, he still locates 2 offset wagon tread marks. I guess you call them tread marks, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I found wagon tracks.
And with a 25, you know they passed here within the last 10 days. Not today, not yesterday, about 10 days ago.
Well, I don't know if it would be worth us investigating tracks if they're older. But it's definitely good to know that they were here. This road seemed relatively well, most of the paths here seemed relatively unused.
It's not a road. You're not on a road.
Yeah, we're just in the field, so something came through here.
I mean, we could follow it just like for a little bit. Not
It's
right
heading
now,
in the same
but-
direction you're heading in. That's why you notice it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, it's heading where we're heading.
So it
Well,
seems
then
like 10
it's
days
very-
away from arriving.
Yes, though if they're in a wagon, it's probably slower traveling than we are, so we may catch it. It's definitely worthwhile to be prepared, but if it's a wagon, it also may be somebody in need of assistance, or just somebody on a trip. So
How long ago did we leave? Not Iriabor, but the other place.
Burdusk, you were 3 days. 3 days journey.
Okay, and how long have we been traveling since we left Iriabor?
You've been traveling for 15 days.
So,
are you suspecting that this is perhaps the same wagon that we were tracing before? That would be a little odd, but I suppose it's possible.
yeah.
I can show you guys on the map to give you a better idea of what you might think. You
Okay.
guys stopped here to encounter when you got off the Palencia. It was right here in this bend in the river. Are you seeing it?
Okay.
The road was north-south here. That's where you were walking when you were chasing after the orcs.
Mm.
So there is a distinct possibility that they were coming straight towards Nytherbane.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we should try to keep our eye on these tracks as we go and see if we can figure out what's going on. It's extremely likely that we have another part of the mystery here.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on them and.
Okay. So you guys will return. You're following the tracks, or are you heading towards Nytherbane?
I would suggest that we follow the tracks so long as it's still in the same direction.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nytherbane is
If
here.
it starts to branch off too far away from Nytherbane, then I would just say that we get back. I do not know if everybody else agrees. That would simply be my recommendation.
Sure.
Nytherbane is. Why did the color not change? There we go. Nytherbane is here. The blue dot. You guys are here. So, okay. In 2 days, when you're about here, the wagon tracks head off this way. They make a pretty swift turn this way towards this hill line.
I still think we should follow them. Just
I am with Zashir.
it's
on
kind of
As you,
still on the way, and we're not like
we're still very close to Nytherbane, so
yeah.
at this point, it may be worthwhile to just check.
I think we need to get to the bottom of where this is going. Let's do it.
Hey, I'm still collecting herbs on our journey. How many bundles have I collected so far?
Your horse is very unhappy with the weight of what you've collected. Most of
So,
which
yeah,
you think is priceless. A lot of your compatriots are relatively certain it's not.
Oh, I do think that there's no price that any merchant will put on it. If that's
Wouldn't
Ouch.
put
that's
any
any
price at all.
consolation.
That's funny.
but herbalism, it's what I do.
Your horse whimpers at night when you take its saddles and saddlebags off.
All right, no. I gotta. I'm not going to do that to my.
You're
poor
traveling
horse.
for 15 days through grasslands. You're gonna find a shit ton of herbs.
Like, what are the most valuable herbs? Like the ones that you use to make like healing potions.
You can't make healing
magic.
potions.
I mean, like, you know what I've seen, like magic.
Black lotuses.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Those make flasks.
Black Lotus.
How many black lotuses do I get?
None. There are no black lotuses in the plains. I'm sorry.
It's because
Team on, get
Yeah.
on.
it's because
Can I
10
at
minutes
least get
ago,
some like silverly? Or
You have to
peacefully?
stand at the node and wait at least 45 minutes.
yeah, 10 people came and took them an hour ago. So you're gonna have
I
to wait
really
for them
don't
to
know.
spawn.
I don't know how herbalism works. I'm supposed to look it up.
Let me check.
So you guys are following it?
5-minute break, or less than 5 minutes. I'm really hungry. I need to make some popcorn.
Oh, sure.
For like 2 minutes, maybe.
I just want to know, you guys are going to follow it towards the hills?
I do think that is the conclusion. Yes.
We are going after that wagon. For once, I would like
Okay.
to find the orcs rather than them find us. No, actually, we did. We did find them once. Never mind.
You're assuming it's orcs?
I'm assuming it's always orcs.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it is.
I do know there's like some magic herbs like good berries, which just basically is like a replacement for a meal for a day.
It is. It's made by druids through a spell.
To be
Well,
fair,
I don't-
bloody hell.
I don't know if you folks remember me saying this, but I do have a theory that the fairies are turning the orcs into human soldiers and sailors, so that when they steal all the goods, say, they go into town pretending that they're like, oh, we're not going to give you the grain, and then they go back down and say, oh, they didn't give us the grain, and that's why there's nobody in their houses.
so have you seen pixies do this?
Yeah, they use magic to like make illusions happen and like befuddle the mind and things. They're working with the orc.
Can I knowledge arcana the possibility of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Possibility of it? Sure.
Yeah, like how likely that's what it is. It's happening. I rolled
They're
a
pixies.
19.
I said fairies, not pixies. Pixies is a kind of
Fairies.
fairy. Fairies in general. The faithful.
28 on knowledge arcana. To know if that's the kind of magic that's being used here. Wouldn't I have seen one of the orcs and seen one of the humans and being able to tell if they were, under some spell or something?
No, we didn't see the humans. That's the point.
Oh yeah, the sailors, they ran away.
I mean, we found their corpses
We did?
from the original shipwreck.
Yeah, those we found the corpses for.
Yeah, we
That's-
buried them at sea.
Yeah, but those were the ones coming down to the thing, not the ones coming up.
Yeah, if they were killed, they weren't
Oh.
working with the orcs. But anyway, yeah. Just based on my roll,
I mean,
do I know?
also, you don't you have that witch sight that lets you determine if things are enhanced magically?
Oh, I mean, I don't like how you're going about that, but yeah, I would really appreciate it if you stop calling me a witch. But yes, I have
Fine.
the ability to see.
How are you going about that? I love it.
The proper term is wizard because he's a male.
How about we just call him a warlock?
No, I don't like any of these terms. How about you call me Basil and say, "Hey, Basil, do you fancy if that thing has magic in it?" And I'll go with the armor. Yeah.
Very well. I will simply refer any time that I'm thinking witch with Basil. How about that? So it will be Basil's side.
Look, I can't help what's in your head, but I really would appreciate it if you refer to me. If you just don't call me any of those things, they're not
Hewitch?
polite.
You
He
will,
witches.
you will hear him say things like, "We're on a basil hunt," when he means witch hunt.
What?
just saying.
Oh, no. I will only do so in regards to Basil. So I will honor his request. It is fine.
Yes, I'll consent to the magical nature of things. I worked in the magic shop long enough. I kind of got a knack for it, and also I can see the damn pixies when they go invisible. Because,
Whoa, that was cool.
ooh.
What if they go invisible to bathe and such? Maybe there's a reason. Jeez. Sorry.
Well, see, like, here's the thing. I'm homeless and I'm cursed, not stupid. I can tell when you're mocking me. You say, all right. So, so it doesn't help. But that's the way you're trying to refer to me. Well, this very serious thing. The fire, if they're meddling in things, is just a much bigger deal. Usually, they like to take like an unwary traveler and then torture them for whatever the weird reasons are. But if they're working with orcs,
They're working with Cyric. Because
right, yeah.
orcs are not the masterminds of anything. Let's
All
be
right,
real.
no, that's what I'm saying. They're they're just the ones that are used for the manual labor. You see, shoot arrows at us, carry the goods away, that sort of thing.
See, I don't quite
Jeez.
like people, but I do like orcs. They're simple. Kill them, that's it.
These wild conspiracy theories. That's crazy. Okay, so I am going to advance some time
Mm-hmm.
and get you all to the hills. Everybody can see where they are. Let me get people a color they can use. We're going to use red. Once you make it over this hill, well, I kind of blocked the hill, didn't I? Bless me.
Right.
Yeah, once you get over this hill right here, draw a circle probably. This text is too big. How do you scale down the line?
On the text.
On this.
Oh,
It's huge. Was it a pencil tool?
I think you actually can actually right click on the circle itself and scale it down.
Hey. It disappeared.
When you scaled it down.
I think so. Somebody's trying to write.
Oh, I did it on accident. Whenever I hit the erase all drawn lines.
Oh no, I'm scaling down the
you're
board.
scaling the thing. Yeah, no, that's not good.
No. Bing. Okay, so anyway, you're at these hills here, and then it becomes a little bit treacherous for your horses to go up any further. But there is a path. And I would like a spot check from
Yay.
everyone.
Guess who just put ranks in spot? Yeah.
This would never happen.
I can no longer
Hey.
roll below a 10.
Well, it's a cross-class skill.
Which is
That's
awesome.
not nice.
I can. And I did.
I rolled a 28.
Oh, nice.
Can I make it yourselves?
I done fixed it.
I posted.
What are
link.
you rolling for?
Spot check.
I can't be a character who wants to know everything and not be able to see anything. So, come on.
I got an 8. I got an 18. I am proud of myself, considering I got a -1 to that roll.
Yeah, it's a pretty good roll.
I got 16.
Okay. So most of you have seen, you see this. It looks like part of the tree coverage, but it's really not. It looks more like it was thrown together as a kind of camouflage, but against the side of the mountain, there appears to be a how do you describe that? Like it's meant to look like foliage, but it appears to be something that was put together by human hands.
A bivouac?
A what?
You never heard of a bivouac?
It's a bivouac, dude. Come on, you don't know what that is?
Everybody knows what that is. I'm sorry. What is it?
It's a bivouac. That's what it is. It's here. I'll get you a picture.
Of a bivouac.
I love you guys. You know so much that things that I didn't know I ever needed to know.
Like cloaca.
Like cloaca.
Mhm.
There's so many things out there that I would have never learned.
It's a part of a dragon that is 100% real and has a name. It doesn't exist on any other animal, but it is there.
It's like birds and lizards have it too.
Do they?
Cloaca, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's a
Is
real
that really
thing.
a thing?
Yeah,
So
no,
it's a
it's
real
a real thing.
Because I was like, it's a real thing for a fictional creature. You're aware of that, right? But now it's not. Okay, I get you. Oh god. You learn more and more every day.
Yeah, what? Finding a good one here.
Oh, I see the difference now. In animal anatomy, a cloaca is the posterior orifice that serves as the only opening for the digestive, reproductive, and urinary tracts of many vertebrate animals.
Yeah.
So they do it all out of one orifice. That's disturbing.
Gross, but it is what it is. It is what they do.
So,
It's very efficient.
but isn't that a dragon's mouth? Like they have mouths.
No. They have one rear for everything.
It's the
Right.
end of the digestive tract.
I'm glad that Yuvik he joined on food conversation, not on that one, because otherwise he will like really never join our D&D campaigns.
Yeah,
Yes. What did you call that?
A bivouac?
A bivouac. It is not that. It is made of like actual branches and
Well, no, you
leaves.
can make one out of actual branches and stuff like that. That's the standard military one that they use. But yeah, it's basically like a low to the ground, small tent-ish structure, and you can sometimes make it out of sticks and leaves and stuff if you're trying to hide. The whole point of it being is it's low and easy to hide in, and it's spelled B.
No, it's not. It looks as though people are attempting to conceal because it doesn't look natural.
Right.
Conceal something against the side of the mountain.
Oh, okay.
Is it like a shooting house?
I'm so glad I learned what that is, though. Like honestly, that's a new word in my vocabulary.
Like a false bush, basically. They're trying to hide something under.
Yes, it looks like it's been put together amidst the rest of the coverage, the foliage.
I'm on a horse. I'm on a horse.
Okay.
Oh, that's strange. Should we check it out?
I want to send my wolf to scout that area. I don't want them to see us. Can I talk to a wolf? Like, can I understand what he says, or can I ask him for specific things?
I don't think so.
No, like you can give command and stuff, but in order to understand him, that's like a speaks with animal spell, which I think you can get eventually.
Rangers do get it. Not right now.
So you got to get to know each other a little bit better.
What's your wisdom?
It's 14.
You probably got at least one spell slot.
And you guys can also, if you're suspicious about what this is, you guys can also roll me a. If it's higher, do survival. If it's lower, do search.
I'm rolling 60 dice tonight. What the fuck? So that's a 19. You said lower, right? So go with the lower one.
Go with your higher one.
Go with my higher one.
Whichever skill you're better at. Yep.
mine is survival as well.
Mine is a 20 search.
Mine's a
Okay, who had
92.
29 survival?
Me.
Okay. You can tell that the ground has been brushed.
To cover tracks. Gotcha.
You don't know nothing. He knows that the ground has been brushed.
Yeah, no, I'm talking above table.
The ground. Well, I'm gonna write. Because I'm guessing we're trying to be quiet. I'm gonna sort of write in the dirt. Ground has been brushed. Like they're trying to hide. I'm not gonna write all that.
I will simply look and whisper because I think that's a bit more efficient. I'll whisper. It's also possible then that they set traps under the dirt.
I have a 10-foot pole.
I don't know how subtle that is, but it would be something.
Why
Do we have a better traps?
I'm going to cast Unseen Servant, I guess. And send him forward.
Okay. Towards the hill?
Yeah, towards the
The
bush.
mountain?
The same thing.
Yeah.
Where the tracks would be covered. He should
Okay.
be able to trigger any traps if there are any, right?
Yes, as long as he's within the range. View.
Nothing happens.
He can move 15 feet in front of me, so.
Did we detect for magic? Or if
I
there's
mean,
a magic?
sure, I'll look.
I did not.
Is there anything invisible or magical over there?
No.
Not magical or invisible. We see what we see.
Suppose we should just go in and look. And it does seem like this is an important area for them because they don't want tracks seen.
Probably the shipments. This is where they hide in them.
Shall we take a look then?
Well, I think it's probably a good idea.
So do you guys approach it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
approach as far as I need to approach to let. It's 15 feet away from me, so I'll approach as far as I need to approach to let my unseen servant see what's behind it, search it.
Okay. It's basically a fake wall that's been made by interlacing branches and twigs. And it's leaned up against the side of the mountain.
So I'll have him move it aside, just enough to look through.
Okay, it's pretty big and it's pretty heavy.
Oh, it's like one solid thing. I thought it was like. Okay.
Yeah, it's one big solid thing.
Okay. Well, then he's officially useless.
He didn't trip any traps. And that's a improvement.
So I look around at everyone. What now?
I suppose we should try and go in, see what's in there.
I thought we couldn't get past it.
You can move it, it's just big and heavy. Your unseen servant can only move like 5 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone needs to open it.
Porthos, would you like to help me move this away?
Yeah, I'll give you a hand.
Thank you. So the two of us will be grabbing it and moving it aside.
Okay. And when you move it, what you find is a large, 4-wheeled, I guess you'd call it a wagon. Essentially, it's 4 wheels with a base that holds those wheels together. And on top of that is a large ballista.
Oh.
Oh, it's an army. Oh god, it's an army. Okay.
I suspect this is what just punctured the hole in the ship.
Indeed. Though, wouldn't we have seen the projectile?
I mean, it could have got washed away in the river.
I suppose, but it would have been rather large
Oh, no, maybe.
and heavy.
Cannonballs aren't very big. They are heavy, though.
I thought we established there aren't cannons.
No, there are cannons. There just weren't any on that ship.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, what? Really?
Mhm.
Cannons exist in this universe. They just weren't.
I thought you said at the beginning of the campaign we couldn't get gunpowder.
Yeah, like I didn't think it's that time period. Okay.
That you can get gunpowder for a musket,
Yeah,
or like black powder that can spark.
cannons
and burn.
existed way before muskets and pistols.
I mean, there were primitive like firearms in the 1400s. Like, is this early Renaissance or what kind of time period is this?
This is medieval times. Before
they're
there were
like-
handheld. Huh?
It's breaking up.
I missed the question. Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry. What do you say?
What kind of cannons are they? Are they like Because the ones on that ship looked like they were like 1700s cannon.
Oh,
yeah,
the
that's
actual look.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah, the ship is not accurate for sure, but if they're
No.
cannons, okay.
It's a prop. Yeah.
I feel like the ballista may not have been what caused the hole, but if it was, whether it was or it was not, it is certainly something that is not good.
Well, depending on whose cache this is, but I would not assume it's someone good.
Yeah, they tried to hide it pretty well.
Yeah, the earliest depiction of a cannon is 1326 in Europe, specifically. Because there's earlier stuff than that in China. But
Mhm.
Should we destroy it?
Why don't we take it with us?
That would be a bit large.
My only issue with destroying it is it would definitely give away that we have been here. Though our tracks would as
Mhm.
well.
We could use it
simply
against them.
sabotage it.
I think that's a better idea.
We have spare horses.
Here's my idea. If we burn it with a huge, big fire of it, they're going to notice it. They're going to come looking for us. That is what we want, because then we'll be able to find them and capture them and stop them, potentially.
But how many?
For us.
We don't know how many there are. Or who they are. Or anything.
I know.
We could burn the bivouac, and when they come to investigate, we could shoot them with the ballista.
I suggest that we have, if we are doing this, we set a foolproof trap.
I would highly recommend against this at the moment, merely because the primarily attempting to punish this whole area seem to be people that acknowledge and understand who the wizard is and are trying to stop him. I do not think we would be quite ready for whatever they have in plans.
I could leave an alarm spell, but
I think this is proof, though,
proof of what?
that someone's hiding something out here, and it's a big old weapon. We can that wreckage is still in the river, and like the holes from that could be made by this. We just have to show this to somebody.
I don't think it proves much.
The important thing is, if that was what they were using, or this is what they're using to destroy the ships, then if we destroy it now, or at least sabotage it, they will not be able to destroy ships in the future. That is what I think our goals should be. I don't think we have to go out of our way to make a big mess. But if we simply remove any important parts that would keep it from working, I doubt they have that many on the payroll who could simply repair it without much issue.
I don't know.
I
I think
think-
destroying it is better. If we sabotage it, they will know anyway, so we might as well just remove it completely.
I think Porthos is having like a Boromir and the ring moment. Like, it's a gift. It's a gift to use against the enemies of Mordor. Sorry, the enemies of Gondor.
I'm definitely against taking this gigantic thing with us, but I don't know. My gut tells me that destroying it is just simply the best path to take.
Well, I don't mind destroying it. I just don't think we should do it grandly
I agree.
with like some fire. Just something quiet. Like, let's get rid of the pieces that make it work.
How about?
And then
How hard would it be to load this thing?
Oh my gosh. If
I
we
mean, it's on
camp-
a wagon. All we gotta do is hitch up horses to it.
Hmm.
If we camp nearby and have destroyed it, I could cast an alarm spell so that we could be out of sight
Oi,
and know
Hey.
when they arrive.
hey, fellas, I think y'all overthinking this. Let's hitch horses to this and take this thing away to town as proof.
I still don't
Is
think
it-
it proves anything.
Well,
the problem I have is what proof would it be to come to Nytherbane with a ballista that attacked Iriable?
No, we could take it to one of the other towns. But more importantly, if we're taking it away, they can't use it on anyone, and there won't be a fire to show that we burned it. They'll just come here to go fetch it, and it's gone. And it's much better than sabotaging it, because if you do that, they can just fix it.
Is there like a giant like windlass, or how is it? How is it load?
It's on a wagon. We hitched the horses.
No. Like how do I put a bolt into it?
Oh, I don't care about firing it. I just want to get
No,
it
no,
out.
no. Porthos is looking this over, like trying.
Okay,
to
so you guys are
figure
actually
out how to
searching
put
the
an
room?
arrow.
The cave it's in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at this point, yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
You're not searching? Where are you?
I'm
I'm
at the entrance to the cave at the moment. I'm
Yeah, we're all
like
talking.
looking at.
I am definitely searching because I'm looking for magical or
Okay, so
invisible
you're
or
at
pixies.
the entrance to the cave. Who's in the cave?
I am in the cave. Where am I?
Well, he just left us to go in the cave because we were all talking at the
Where's
entrance.
my
fee.
figure?
Okay.
Where's my?
Are
figure?
any of you actively looking around?
I'm trying. I'm trying to load the ballista.
I will
So you're
cast-
in the cave with the ballista.
Never mind.
Yeah,
alright.
trying to load it.
Hmm.
Where's the hobo?
Above table, is there any point in me casting detect magic if you can just detect magic naturally?
Yeah, no, I can do it at will.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't cost me a spell slot.
Cool.
I don't have spell slots. I just have supernatural abilities, basically. But they're stuck at a certain level. That's the trade-off.
Okay, so those of you who are actively looking around, roll me search checks.
Okay.
Those of you who are examining the ballista do not have to.
Oh, I rolled low. Got myself a 10. Not very good. Hey, Arch, I don't think you made my figure. Unless I'm missing it somewhere.
Where are you?
I'm not on here.
Oh no. Gotta find me a hobo.
Remember, you don't
Um,
have one. You got like a roguey guy with a dagger was the closest thing you had,
Oh, yes.
as I recall.
Hang on, I'll find him. I'll find the bastard.
I'm not a bastard.
Not you.
I'm homeless.
Calm down. Okay, so did we get search checks?
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Oh.
They were all nice though.
You had a 20? Were you searching?
No, that was my
It was 1310.
search check from the
Yeah.
figuring out what it was.
Yeah. It's
I didn't look
Okay.
because I'm at the
Yeah,
entrance.
maybe.
So
People.
All right. So Janice and Eben, both of you notice that there are carvings into the wall of the cave.
Oh.
Where do I find your roguey guy?
There's something
I'm gonna give you a brand new roguey guy. There you go. Double dagger.
Does it look like writing of some kind?
What languages do you have?
I have very esoteric languages. I have Common, Sylvan, and Elven.
It looks like a language to you, but not one that you speak.
I cast comprehend language.
You
What language
cast
is it?
comprehend language.
Also,
Well, you'll know what it says. Hang on.
Well, I have common, infernal, draconic, celestial, and dwarven. Is any one of those?
I can cast comprehend languages once a day, so I also cast comprehend languages.
I wish I knew you guys had all these abilities before I picked divination. Like, I really wish. Because
You didn't even know that I was a spellcaster of any kind whatsoever, which I technically still am not. But
Yeah, no, you joined after I even made my character. I'm just saying, like, it's incredible. Divination was a bad choice. Go ahead.
oh man, yeah, divination's not.
I picked divination so I could know everything, but then you guys both know everything, so it's like, well, whatever.
Well, as soon as a bard joined, you were fucked because they get all the knowledges.
Yep.
Hold on. Where is Janice?
Yeah.
You first. Here you are. Wow, your Discord name is weird. Wasn't sure it was you. There we go.
The natural one I know. Basically, because I always roll ones, that's why they call me the natural one.
So this is Dwarven. Let me see, which side of the cave are you guys searching on?
If it's dwarven, he already has it, so he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I
cast it.
have the language dwarven, so I don't have to cast comprehend then.
I do have.
There
it.
you go.
Whoa.
You can read it, and I'll tell you what it says. Hang on.
technically I have it, but I'm not trying to read anything.
Hey guys, what time do we usually stop? Is it like...
Right about now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, an hour or two.
Yeah, we're
Either one.
Yeah, I'm just so sleepy. I'm trying to realize, is it like another hour, or do we usually stop around this time?
So
4
So-
more hours.
So above table, just to give you an idea, was like, so I'm a 3.5 edition warlock, which are different than the other editions.
Yep, you get invocations, which are awesome.
Yeah, so they're spell-like abilities, and then on top of that, since I was using that book, and I had 2 feats, I just like took feats that went along with the theme for the character as like someone who's like just has innate magic he doesn't know about and can't control. So I took Communicator and Spell Hand. So Communicator lets me cast Arcane Mark, Comprehend Languages, and Message once a day as a level 1 caster. And then Spell Hand lets me do Mage Hand, Open Close, and Tensor's Floating Disc. And the DC 10 plus spell level, which is level 1 character.
Okay, so you guys are. Who's reading this? Who's inside the cave reading it?
It's me and Shannis.
You and Janice.
Yeah.
Weirdest is looking at the ballista like a person who has just seen food for the first time.
No, he's actively trying to load it.
Are you gonna become the John Buscemi of Armageddon?
Yeah. You mean Steve Buscemi?
What did I say?
John Buscemi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
Porthos has been through Luskin and Waterdeep. Has he ever seen a war machine like this?
This size ballista? No.
Oh yeah, he's rock hard.
Okay.
Uh,
Who is outside of the cave?
I'm right at the entrance, so not necessarily outside.
Okay.
I guess I'm technically inside because I went through the thing, but I'm not going necessarily in. I saw the thing that I wanted to see.
All right. So Shannis is finding and reading.
as am I. With my
Okay.
comprehend languages ability.
Then I shall send it to you as well. Hang on. Janice?
That's what up.
Oh.
So I read. Hadorum Azadoran. Basically means open the way in Dwarven.
Now,
Yep.
I think you mean that it means grant me entrance.
Ah,
That's a different
That's
inflection.
close enough. It's
There is a deep rumbling when you say the Dwarven words out loud.
Mhm.
And the back of the cave wall begins to slide upward, and the entrance to the cave, starts to slide downward. What are you guys doing?
Oh. Is
Now,
the
this is
wagon-
not, it's not
the
the
wagon
ceiling.
thing-
It's like a door opening in the back of the cave,
Mhm.
and the front, there is like a door coming down.
I'm gonna try to hide under the wagon.
Okay? Those of you
we're-
outside.
Yeah, we're still outside, right? So,
Yep.
I'm not gonna run in, so I'm going to gesture for them to get out, like as hurriedly as possible. I don't know if they have time, but I'm gonna be like, "Come on!"
Yeah. How safe does it look? Like, would we be able to make it inside?
Yeah, it's moving. It's moving fast enough, but not that you wouldn't be able to walk inside. So it's not really fast as much as it's continuous.
So I'm like, "Come on, come on!"
We should go. We should go inside.
I'm going to
Where's Lance at?
with inside.
I need my stopwatch.
Porthos is going to kiss the ballista and say, "I will come back for you," and then he'll run inside.
The ballista's in the cave, isn't it?
What's this inside? Yeah, you're in the cave.
Okay, never mind.
You're in the cave.
We're good. We're
You
good.
can kiss it all you want. You're kissing it inside.
Yeah,
we're going inside, right?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yes, I go inside.
Okay, I follow.
Just
Anybody
for
staying
Allie-
outside?
Just for Allie to come with me.
I mean,
Right.
I'm not gonna be
I
stuck outside.
think we should be going further down here. I think it was a mistake to do that because I believe now people know
It's
that
too
it's been
light.
open.
Everything's moving. They're trapping us. They're all trapping us.
Yeah,
I'm
we
under
should
the-
get
Yep.
out of here. Like,
The door's about halfway right now.
I'm
Let's
under
get
the wagon.
out.
let's leave, please.
So those of you inside, and who's outside?
I did step in so I could tell them to leave, but
Yeah,
I'm
so am I.
near the exit.
Okay, the door is sealing. Like, it's going to be down. If you guys aren't in, you're going to be out. If you are in, you're either going to be in or you're going to be out. You got to
So,
pick now.
so everyone is
I'm in.
inside, right?
Inside.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the timer,
Yeah.
and I want everyone to simultaneously write what they have done. Are they inside or outside?
I wanted to know what was happening so I could know. Like, I'm not gonna be the only one outside.
You have to write. Time's up.
Okay, well, I guess I'm in.
You got to make up your mind. God damn it. Okay. So the back cave closes. The front of the cave that you came in through has closed, and the back of the cave is now open, and there is a larger room inside that is lit because the sunlight is gone now. Is lit by fire. There are torches on the walls.
It's inside.
That was awesome. Let's go. Let's go inside. Come on.
Now we just need to find a way to get back out. Can you just say the words that open it back up?
Open sesame.
Try
No,
it again
that'll
before
be
the
the-
spell wears off.
What?
You gotta say Hadora Mastoran.
Yeah, that those words.
That's not how these things work. You can't say the same words to open it and close it. That's not right. We have to go in, explore.
Let's go in. I'm like,
Yeah.
evil is lurking, and we should be swifting our punishment of it.
I don't know if it's evil, but we should definitely go in. Come on, it'll be
Come
fun.
on. Let's go.
I've never been in a magic cave before. This is really cool.
Okay. I've never been in a magic cave before. Well,
I would like to just simply point out that we're against an organization that has a magic cave.
Right, yeah, I told you it was the Pixies and you wouldn't believe me.
I still
Pixies
don't,
riding
but
a Dwarven. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That seems to be a them problem. Having a magic cave and all that. I can fight
Nothing like Dwarven Pixies.
Oh, it's right. Dwarven Pixies. It all makes sense.
Yep. So you walk past the ballista. Do you enter the hall?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, at this
I
point,
do so when I see everybody else start to do so.
like, what
'cause
else
I'm-
are we gonna do? Like, come on.
try to
Don't know.
open the door back so we can leave.
If we open that
Oh,
door, we
fine.
close this one. So we either leave or we keep going.
We tried. It doesn't work.
How wide is the going forward?
So it's going to be. You mean how wide is the doorway?
No. As we move further into the mountain, like how wide is the hallway?
As you enter the hall, you're going to be in about a 60 by 60 room.
Could we bring the ballista with us?
You could drag the ballista backward into the hallway if you wanted to. Sure.
Could we turn it so it's like the business end is facing towards any threats we might encounter?
It would take you a hot minute. Have you gone into the hallway?
I mean, I'd like to turn the ballista first.
You'd have to back it out of where it is into the hallway and then turn it around.
How long are the projectiles? Are they like man-sized, longer?
The ballista bolt
Yeah.
is longer than you.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm working up a sweat.
Yes. So Lance just walks right in there. He's like, there's evil lurking. I gotta go slay it in Torm's lame.
I follow Lance. As
Okay.
soon as he
So I can describe what you'll see, but we're going to end it here. You're going to see.
Is the door closed already? Did they have a time to put a stick between the door and the floor? Was it closing from top to bottom or from one side to another side?
Top to bottom, and it was a huge stone slab like National Treasure or
Oh, okay.
one of those Egyptian.
Well, next time,
Yeah,
next time,
Treasure is
whenever we are
descriptive
leaving, we could
enough.
probably just push the ballista in between the slab and the door,
Yeah.
That would
and
have
then
helped.
just
Yeah.
let the door crush
We
it.
just should enter anything from now on with ballista forward.
It's a good idea. When you enter the hall, this huge room, I'm going to describe it. I'll try to get it on the table for next session. It's covered in skins, animal skins on the floor. A lot of the decorations on the walls, if you call them decorations, more like graffiti, are written in various types of blood. This is not Dwarven. It's Dwarven architecture, but this is not Dwarven decoration.
Is the language Dwarven?
What it's written in? No. The markings?
Yeah.
Like what's carved into the walls are Dwarven. what's written in the bloods and the inks, the finger paints, essentially, are not Dwarven.
Okay. We comprehend language. So that means to be able
Oh, you know what it is. It's Orcish.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, the orcs are using this place. Look, they've written all in Orcish all over the place.
Yep. And there are multiple passageways out of here. The main one is behind, straight ahead of you, at the end of the hall. There is a large stone throne, essentially. There are 2 doors to the left and right of it. But to your left and right, as you walk into this room, there are alcoves. 6 at your level, and 6 about 20 feet off the ground. And in those alcoves are sentries. So we'll be rolling initiative
Sentries?
next week.
I want to do the
Sentries?
combat.
Hmm?
The spell
Sentries
was
of
good, but
Orcish sentries or like
Orcs.
yeah.
Orcish sentries.
Yes. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yep.
It's like it's not like
But we will keep it as it was and say that the first 2 bravely in are Kari and Lance.
and the last
Hey.
one. The last one's most definitely me, because I said I see if everybody leaves me here alone.
I gotta tell you, man. I got invisibility like ready to cast at a moment's notice when I walked into that room. Just so we're all aware, okay?
you have
Mhm.
invisibility?
Talk about retcon. Good
What?
job.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I was picturing whenever it's like, evil's in here. I must go smite it. The spell I have prepared is invisibility.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out how he has invisibility. Is that a bard spell?
Bards,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a lot of illusion spells.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Bards have a really good mix of stuff.
They've got like enchantment, illusion, and some random sonic damage things.
And healing,
And healing, yes.
very important. Because we're about to need it.
By the way, Lance didn't take any healing spells. He just took all the utility ones.
Oh, that's not good to know now. That's going to be a problem. Because the sentries aren't the only ones here. Obviously. They're just the
No,
sentries.
I have the cure light wound.
Paladins can heal, right?
1 heal.
I have 12 points of healing.
But yeah, he can spread them around, so he can use it to make sure to keep us out. But that,
Yep. Finger of healing.
I have a good berry that heals 1 damage.
I don't think, generally speaking, I can get 1 shot, so let's just hope that doesn't happen.
I have damage resistance.
Unfortunately, I do have some potions, but not very many.
I have 1 potion.
But on the bright side, you guys have a ballista. You can always like you can pull
I
that
have
backward.
no idea how to use.
Try to load it and fire it at an orc.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to use it. I mean,
We'll
just
see.
after a few minutes with minutes with Porthos, it's all sticky.
Oh yeah, multiple times too.
I hate that we're all there, like, at the door, like, come on, guys, get out, come on, get out. Ark is like, yeah, there's time, you can leave, you can walk out. No, we're gonna stay.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up. This is more fun.
of course it is.
This is way more fun.
Imagine
What did
watching
Kariana
a
say?
movie.
I've never been in a magic cave. That's what Kariana said.
Yep.
My character is 16 years old. I'm saying he's excited. He was a slave and he's 16 years old. He's easily excited about everything.
You guys,
Makes
a
sense.
few, like less than a week ago, I was gonna be burned as a witch. This is a preferable situation.
You're hiding on a crane ship from townsfolk. They don't want to burn you anymore. They have full bellies. They'll be all right.
Imagine a movie where Indiana Jones just went home